The following podcast episode might contain coarse language and subjects not suitable for younger audiences. Your discretion is advised.
Live from a not-so-sleepy little town comes a podcast for a mobile game. Really? Anyhow, your hosts, a content creator and an artist trying to come up with wild ideas while also talking about whatever. It's the Goosebumps HorrorTown TerrorVision podcast!
So, I was just talking to somebody and they were like, oh man, April's kind of down. Like, what should we do? Should we save her? And I'm just like, nah. I said, let her die. Let her die. Let her shrivel up there. Come on, you all know the words. Who's with me? Nothing said start the podcast like a Lorax meme. All right? Anyways,
Right.
Welcome to the podcast. As always, I'm Grim, and here is my co-host, Vampire, as always. And
I'm the giant rat who makes all of the rules. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm Bat, can I be? So how bad can I be? I hate the movie so much. Like, I know I joked about the whole thing. And just as part of it because, we're currently recording this on April the 27th here. And, April's almost done, so thank God. But April, out of all the months, is probably the worst of them for me. So I always joke about, if I had a villain, it would be April. But, yeah, so I just figured we always try to start this off with something funny to kind of do, right? But, yeah, that movie, by the way, is so weird. That was so odd with that movie because of the fact that, like, I still remember one of the biggest things they pointed out was this, like, oh, the advertisings they got going on for the like, it makes sense for movies to kind of do advertisings, but it's like one of them was like a car for fuck's sakes. It's like, why? Out of all the things you could do, it's a car. Like the most polluted thing. It's like, yeah, perfect.
I thought the most polluted thing was something like a train or like a cruise ship or some shit.
I mean, I guess it's a lot of different
even
things.
like a jet.
I mean, the cars don't help. This is gonna go with that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but like I would say like a car is like a lesser of two evils.
Yeah, but they
like
didn't
compared to
advertise.
like
I
a
don't think.
bigger vehicle.
Yeah, I don't think the advertising car is being like, oh, it's eco-friendly. It does less to the ecosystem. It's like, because the whole thing with the Lorax is basically an environment, not really environmentalist, but it's like a warning of like what happens if you decide to kind of like basically get rid of all the trees and whatnot, right?
Or just take life for granted,
Yeah, I think that was partially it too. I mean, it's funny because originally in the movie they were actually going to make the Onceler actually be kind of like what he is in the books, but then they decided to cut that for some reason. I guess because it's like, oh no, we can't have the villain be too evil. We have to have him be sympathetic. We have to make him be like, oh, he was misunderstood. It's like, no,
I mean, this is why Jack Horner was a lot more beloved than any twist villain Disney's made,
Yeah, but the other thing too,
Because-
with the Onceler too. I mean, you have to imagine the if I remember, like especially with the animated, it's like the guy who tells you a story, you have to pay him first, and then he'll tell you the story. It's like he didn't learn his lesson.
Okay, so wait a minute. This actually reminds me of like a machinima where I watched about a World of Warcraft character named I'm trying to remember his name, but he was like the big fat goblin.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it starts with like this goblin. He finds this book in a bookstore about their trade prince Gallywix. That was his name.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, are you reading this without paying for the book? Oh, you better not do that. You better go and pay for this book right now because there could be somebody hiding in the shadows waiting to kill you. Don't think I won't do it? Just sit around and find out. So, like, the goblin just like stands there shaking, not wanting to be killed. He just rushes over to pay for the book. It's like, ha, I knew you'd buy it, you sucker. Now, let me tell you about my life story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the monster there. What's weird too is I remember there was this thing on TikTok for some reason everyone wanted to do, which is like I think it's like near the end of the movie that everyone was just dancing the Let It Go song. And for some reason they all focused on this one kid and they're like, let's dance like this one kid there. And I remember one of the weirdest things was the Duolingo app. Like they had one of their mascot characters do that too. And I'm just like, why? Out of all the things, it's like do the weird the kid dance. It's just like why? And they emphasize it too.
Okay, I think the best trend that I've ever seen this month was the Foghorn Leghorn shit.
I started seeing stuff like that, but I didn't actually take a look into it. I mean, I just kind of saw glimpses
It's
like, oh,
fucking
Target Lego. I
hilarious. I
didn't look.
love it. It's just Foghorn Leghorn being edited in like screenshots of different like franchises, animes, and TV shows, and he's just berating all these characters. Like, boy, what are you doing, boy? Look what you got and done yourself, boy.
Did someone do that with the Invincible ones? Like, think, Mark. What do you think you do, boy?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that exists, but it all
Everyone who
started
think
from
will
like
live will die.
okay, so excuse me. So what a lesson in meme culture didn't mention was that there originally started was like a tweet by some person
Everything
who
starts
was
with a
like,
tweet, it seems like, or an X
"What's that?"
message or whatever the hell it is.
Well, I call it Twitter, so I
I
don't give a
know.
shit.
Screw you, Elon.
But
X-ception.
I'm not gonna call it X because it just sounds like a porn site. But anyway, there was like this tweet about from this one guy who was like, you know what, it'd be really funny just to have someone edit in like Foghorn Leghorn berating like different anime characters. So one person took it upon themselves to do just that with an anime called "Don't Tease Me, Nagatoro-chan," right?
Oh no.
And and then this spawned a whole fucking match. What's that word? Uh,
Mashup.
no. Menagerie of like different edits of like Foghorn Leghorn berating all these different characters from like different animes, Sonic the or Shadow the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
it's etc. etc.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if like an Invincible one does exist, but I wouldn't doubt it if it
They
was
probably would
recently
make it,
made.
or someone would animate
Yeah,
it or something like that. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah, exactly. But it was just like
it's begging
I know
for it. Although the
I
Invincible
know
one
that
was kind of a dead meme now because it's been years since that happened, right? I love it too.
yeah,
When
but
that
with like
came out, a lot of people were like, "Think, Mark, think." It's like, no, he doesn't say "think" a second time. He just says "think, Mark."
I can imagine like Foghorn Leghorn just saying the exact same thing that Omni Man would say, but like similar to like how he
To the dog.
uses like
Think,
the
Mark.
word to get like because I remember seeing one where like Foghorn Leghorn berates Mewtwo by using his own words from the fucking Pokemon movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. I know, like before, yeah, getting a bit off topic, but before we do that, I wanted to add when you were talking about with X, it's just like, oh, it reminds you of a porn site and all that. For some reason, that kind of reminded me of like X, and like to the extreme. Fuck yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people would see the X as like the extreme version, but I don't know. I don't know what Elon's like obsession with X is. He's always wanted to put X there. It's like it's like so weird, boomer. It's like X is cool. It's like no, it's not. It's not anymore. Grow up, Grandpa. Anyways, we have a lot of stuff to talk about here, and part of it is basically the game. We apologize for how long and lengthy it's been as of the last few episodes. We're trying to make sure this is not the case, but irony is it probably will be. But we're shortening it a little bit in a sense. But before we go ahead and talk about our one of the past updates, there is something we want to talk about, and I've already made the announcement of this, I believe, on my channel. Like today on my channel, I would upload this information, so you already know this. But as far as when this video update will go, I think it's going up on the 17th of May. So I have no idea if this update will hit on that day. I guess we'll see. But we finally got information from the team as far as what's going on exactly. One of them,
Yay!
yeah, one of them is the fact that yes, they are a smart team and they're kind of working on stuff, which I kind of figured. I mean, all I wanted was to say, yeah, is the game dead? Is it working? Like, what's going on? But yeah, they said that the game is they're currently doing stuff. I'm not sure if they're going to be adding anything as far as new like content stuff goes, as far as like UI changes or things like that. It sounds like that's what they want to do, but I'm not sure if they will. But one thing we do know for sure is that there is a new event coming in. But this one's going to be something interesting because this is the first time this has happened in a sense. Kinda. I mean, we had something similar to this, but not in the same vein because we're not getting one event, but we're getting two. This is a two-parter event. So this update is going to be extended to two parts. So one part after another. And yes, each part is its own event. So it's a full context. So that means we at least get like two characters, two scenes, a lot of different decorations. And it'd be interesting to see exactly what book or books they justify as being like a two-parter as far as like what needs to be added, right? And
Well, I guess I gotta go make that fucking grind to unlock all the different land spaces for all these decorations.
decorations, everything a decoration. Build a giant plushie, for God's sakes. Like, why you could put it? Who knows? It looks ugly
Hey,
as
you want a
shit,
big?
but it looks cute and it gives you scary points. Ooh.
Hey, kid, you want a giant ass plushie? We got giant ass plushies.
Where is that? That sounds familiar. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, that's like the most stereotypical like New
I'm sure
Yorker
some.
carny accent.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like,
Yeah, somebody. I could have sworn I've heard someone do that before.
Hey kid, you wanna see a dead body?
Whatever. But
Kid, you want a giant
can
ass
you just,
plushie?
yeah,
Got some
just
giant
over
ass
here.
plushies.
It's so fluffy. But yeah, it's yeah, some of the decorations, man, is ridiculous. But this will be interesting because we don't have the content director anymore, the one previously. So this is being designed by, I believe, the lead director, who is what I refer to as Nacho. He previously worked on Her Oasis as the content director previously, before that game decided to go down under. So I'm curious to see what he'll bring to the table, and if there, and I don't know if this is true. It might just not be him because when I did talk to the QA, they were like, the directors in plural, meaning that there's more than one person working on it. So it's possible that he can also be helping with the replacement, but I'm not 100% sure exactly on that. I guess once this event goes up and live, we'll know for sure what's going on. But yeah, as far as when this is coming out, I believe they didn't say exactly when, but when I asked for when I can get assets or who can I get assets, he said just message me in late May and I'll give you the thing. So that should tell you that we're looking at late spring, early summer. So at least
okay.
sometime around near mid May to June at the latest. And it
Sounds
seems like
dope.
this will be a summer thing. But anyways, do you have any guesses of what you think might be coming in?
I do because like as soon as I heard a two-parter, the first thing that came to my mind was something comic book themed, and I have a feeling that it might be based on anything relating to Doctor Maniac because we already have like two books featuring him, which was the Robbie Schwartz one and
Versus Dr.
the
Maniac, and Dr. Maniac will see you now.
Doc-
Yeah, I forgot about
yeah.
that. Yeah,
So I
that would
figured
make
that like the first part would be like Doctor Maniac versus or no, Doctor Maniac will see you now, where you first get introduced to Doctor Maniac, and then the other event would like introduce Robbie Schwartz.
Yeah, I figured that they would introduce like the main hero to be the first character and then the second one being the bad guy, but I'm not sure exactly what they're going for. They might do the opposite, but it'd
But
be interesting to
I would
see.
have like a feeling like Robbie Schwartz would be like the only one because it was his creation. He would be like the only one who would know how to stop Doctor Maniac.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see though, because I think they've been trying to have the characters also kind of tie into the final grand prize scene. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be like having the like yeah, he's the hero character, but he's also like a monster scene. Ooh, like I'm not sure what they're gonna be doing for that. I've always had this joke where one I can see somebody be a monster scene, but literally what it is that them running from a bigger monster, and every time they duck is when they get like the monster behind them kind of does the attack, and the person gets scared and run away. So it's like this interesting like running from the monster. So yeah, he is a monster per se, quote unquote, but really it's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see if them doing something like that, but I don't know for sure. The other thing I kind of had a mind
Yeah.
for that I was thinking of was like I thought of a choose your own adventure book because usually they have like two paths, right? Where you can do one side or the other side. And I've always loved this idea that you can see the event start off like here's the main stuff, and then the second part comes in and it's like the after effect. Like say a fire happened and then now you see the result of that or something like that. I'm not sure. It's
Uh,
this it's
I
a
mean,
weird
I don't. I honestly don't think it would be one of those books, considering that we've had events based on those books and nothing like that's ever happened.
True. The one thing though that I do want to throw out there is that there is a give yourself goosebump book that is a two-part saga that kind of got mentioned previously in the past, but not in the same vein. So it'd be interesting if this is the thing they're kind of going with, because they already have scary clown music. They got assets for like circus stuff. Plus, they also have their other games do like roller coasters and whatnot. So it's easy to kind of just take and put into the game without being like, done. We didn't have to do a whole lot. Just make it this aged a little bit. There you go. New asset.
But isn't it a little too soon to start releasing more, circus crap after Circus
Well,
of
it's
Fear?
not really a circus per se. What I'm referring to is the Carnival of Horrors.
Well, I know that, but
Yeah,
like
because there's
even Horrorland isn't technically a circus, and yet
go to
we
the
still have
Carnival.
fucking
Yeah, so
tents
it's
and
like the
shit.
Carnival of Horrors, and then there's a Return to Carnival of Horrors. So there's like a two-part book.
Isn't
So
it Escape from Carnival of Horrors?
yeah, Escape from Carnival of Horrors and Return to Carnival of Horrors. I think that's what it is.
No, there is no Return to Carnival of Horrors. There's only Escape. Wait,
Yeah,
no,
there's
wait,
the
I'm
first.
stupid. Sorry,
Yeah, there's two. Escape from the Carnival of Horror, which is the first book with the Tim Corbett
Yeah,
art, and then we got the Mark
yeah.
art from Return to Carnival of Horror. And the reason I mention that is because when the Horrorland Carnival came around, they called it a Carnival of Horror. So it'd be
Well, yeah,
funny.
that was like,
It it'd be fun.
yeah.
I have no idea how they would justify that though as a two-parter. Like, what would be like two scenes, and like Big Al will probably be a character for sure, but I don't know if like one of the other kids will be like a character per se. But it'd be funny if we have Big Al into the game and you just like go into his shoes, um, Jonathan Chiller, because it's just like, I heard you used my trademark. I'm suing you for damages. It's like you talking about. It's like, I own the Carnival of Horror bit. Oh, that. Uh, sorry, buddy.
I wonder if we're gonna get anything based on Streets of Panic Park.
That could also be a possibility too, because that's kind of like a two-parter in a sense. But
Yeah, from starting with like Escape from Horrorland, and then it goes on to like the Streets of Panic Park.
yeah, and it has a cool ass merry-go-round stuff too. But the thing is, they already have the Tunnel of Unlove, so or what? No, the Tunnel of
Well,
Hate.
yes
Yeah,
and
it's a
no.
Tunnel of Hate, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yes and no, because like the Tunnel of Hate was in the event or in the game that we have was based from Bride of the Living Dummy.
I just love. I would love to have one of the past villain characters come in and actually start doing crap again, like how they've kind of like. I guess the best way to kind of like we kind of had something similar to a two-parter, but not really in the sense of like back to back. Is looking at the body squeezers stuff, which will be a future update we'll talk about. But basically, the second update we ever got was the body squeezers, and then a few years later we got Squeezers Revolution, which was a Secret Agent Grandma. But that kind of had a continuation to the body squeezer storyline in a sense. So it's possible that that could be something that they're going with, where it's two different books but has the same narrative going on, or it could just be one book with you know two different stories, like what you talk about with Doctor Maniac. That could also be a possibility. So there's a lot of things they
Or
can go with.
or uh, this would be a perfect way to segue into the next thing or the next topic. It could be the same book but with two separate stories.
Yes, so just like we were talking about here. Okay, so let's talk about our main discussion. So let's talk about the first ever update. First ever update we ever got in this game as far as event goes, and that is That's No Easter Bunny. Now, you and I are Canadian, right? So part of the thing.
Hey, we're Canadian, eh?
Oh, hey! I hate how when we watch the cartoon, like, oh, it's like Drinking with Goosebumps. Every time they do an episode based off of the books, it's like, oh, there's an episode associated. They have to watch it, and there's like rules, like if they recognize the actor, they have to drink. And one of the things they
Yeah.
joke about is every time they hear the Canadian accents, because every time it's like, oh, sorry, oh, sorry. They immediately go
Oh,
into
sorry there, buddy. Oh, I didn't mean to do
oh,
that, eh?
oh,
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Oh, that
horrible.
looks pretty bad. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Hey.
Why you call Canadian Azkaban? It's like, is this the exit door? Let's be back before bedtime.
Yeah, it also reminds me of that one scene in Family Guy where like Stewie and
This is
Brian they were
Norway.
like going to the North Pole and they were traveling through
Oh yeah,
Canada.
yeah, that guy. It's
And
like,
like
what?
this fucking trucker comes
Oh, you
by and
want
he's
my
like
guns?
Canadian. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, you could take my snowmobile. It's like, what, really?
yeah,
Yeah. It'd be pretty rude for me not to. It's
yeah.
Canadian hospitality. Like, no, like in my city, no one fucking shares.
That's what stereotypes is. It's just this whole thing of like everyone kind of does this. One thing what was
You
interesting
can even
though,
have me like, eh?
yeah,
and
happy
they
day.
and they do like this running gag where like the Canadian guy was coming back, like Stewie and Brian, their car like broke down and they were trying to call AAA, but the Canadian guy was coming back from AA, and he always adds A
A
at the end of it,
A. No, just A.
and they're
That's
doing
what I
like
said.
a
A.
stupid Abbott and Costello thing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm asking. Who? Who? Oh, I get it, because he's an owl. Like,
Who's on first?
yeah, that's so stupid. I like this Simpsons version of that. We're doing it again. We're
Oh
getting
my god,
off
yes.
topic. Come on.
Okay,
Get
before we
to
do move on, I do need to say that like any Abbott and Costello jokes from The Simpsons was like I saw this video. Any Abbott and Costello jokes from The Simpsons was like
the
top tier versus anything made by the Family Guy
I
team. You
saw
know?
the video. Yeah. No, this is good. When are they gonna get to the story? Stop it. All right, fine. Yeah. So out of the curious, yeah, because we're Canadian, part of the thing is when it comes to games, they kind of do soft launches. And when this game kind of came into soft launch before it was released officially in May of 2018, they did a test event during April of that year, which was the Dat No Zito Bunny. Now, unfortunately, I never recorded anything about this because I started around September of 2018. But we did, I'm not sure, did you ever play through the beta or the official That's No Issa Bunny first encounter?
Uh, not that I recall.
Okay,
I
so we'll kind of skim through this a little bit just because that's not really the main focus, but I'll talk a little bit about it because if you're curious, you can watch Casey Loves Gaming because he has videos talking about this. He recorded it. But the
right.
basic gist of it is that this was just testing out the features of like how this thing would go, the promenade decoration and all that stuff. And it's kind of cool how they've had everything set up. Like they had a bunch of hot dogs and hamburgers that you can click on, and then kind of like a little Dustin's Magic Shop. So the first
Yeah.
iteration was basically themed around the Magic Carnival, which I guess it's a crappy looking carnival, but whatever. Some of the
I mean, you know, what could you do?
yeah,
It was
some of the
soft launch
elements,
at the time.
some of the elements from that, like Dustin's quest line, did get brought back into the Bad Hair Day storyline. So you did get to see a little bit of it. But as
Yeah.
far as the whole other context stuff goes, that's kind of lost to time now. So sorry about that. But anyways, for some reason back in 2019, they decided to revisit that back again, and they decided to add more to it. And this time they made it so that it was more of an Easter theme carnival, and they've added the actual Amaz-o into the context. So originally
Well,
when we
wasn't
had
that in the second part of the
yeah,
of
so
the
yeah, which I'm gonna
final event thing?
yeah, which I'm gonna be talking about because there's not really much we can talk about when it comes to the first half because we weren't really like I played through the beta of this, but then when it came back officially, I skipped through it because it didn't come into
Yeah.
the like until September. So we can't really say a whole lot. So we're gonna say a lot more when it comes to part two because it kind of connects to part one. But we'll talk more about this. But when the first part came in, we got introduced to Amaz-o, which it was a lie. That wasn't Amaz-o. That was some guy named Amazing Jack. And in fact,
Yeah, right.
Jack
What fucking
Chamele or
clickbait
whatever
was that shit, huh?
Jack Camille or whatever his name was. Like it was a different. Like they had their last name actually, so we know his full name. But yeah, he
I
basically was the typical. He was the he's a crappy magician. He sucks. He's like the magician that they try to do these tricks, but he sucks at it. Like he kind of reveals what they are, and they're just like, oh, boo, I joke about it in the videos with the "Boo this man!"
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo
It's like
this man! Boo!
that's literally what happens in the story.
Yeah.
He gets booed
I
off
think his
stage.
last name is pronounced Camelo.
Camelo, that's it. Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Camelo.
Jack Camelo.
Yeah, Camelo. So yeah, I don't know what the last name would be like. What would mean with his orientation, like of where he came from, like because that last name, I'm not sure what's. You
I
know what I mean?
might have a theory as to what it could be.
Yeah,
Now, it's been a while since I've read Bad Hair Day, but I think it's supposed to be the physical appearance of the dummy used by Amaz-o to
that
replicate his physical appearance.
that's the one thing I was gonna actually appreciate. But when we talk about the Amazing Jack, or I guess the Amazo character, when he came into the thing, some of the animations were kind of cool. But one of the interesting things about the storyline was he came across Amazo's cape, right? And he's like, I don't know who this Amazo is, but I'm sure he's better than me. And it's like the thing opens, is like, huh, you know what? Maybe I'll try it on. Yeah, it looks nice on me. And then all of a sudden,
Ooh,
Amazo's,
velvet.
yeah, well, he's getting hypnotized. So it's just like, well, I guess he wants to be a successful slave. Or no, I'm sorry. I guess he wants to be a successful slave.
Yeah,
So,
sloppy. You know, slaves. Yeah.
it sounds like every time we do the curly thing, it sounds like Waluigi's wah. It's like you gotta do it. Wah, wah.
Yeah. Amazing. Wants slaves like Slappy. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it too. That was also the first time I tried doing voice acting type of thing, as far as like recording my voice separately, because previously I would just read it on the spot, which is like terrible. But at least I
Yeah.
tried a bit before I did the pitching thing. So I'm glad
I
that
think
we
that's
kind
kind
of
of what drew. I think that's kind of what drew me to your videos is your voice acting for like the different characters.
I tried to, yeah. I thought that was interesting. Like when I, because someone commented, it's just like, if you try to read it, pronounce it, like, you know what, that's a great idea. I should do that. And then I'm just like, can I play with my voice? Because I hate the fact that I sound like, like the woman voice doesn't sound like a woman. It sounds like me. So it's like, I don't want to do that. So it's like, try to pitch it. So it's like, oh, that'll work. Like some of the voices I could do, but it's like, I can only limit my voice so high because I'm so deep tone, or like, what, no,
Well,
in
to be
music, there's
fair,
like
like
a certain, like, what is it called? Certain mellow, like when it comes to bass tones, like
yeah,
there's a thing for it in the music term, as far as like the voice vocal cords. But
yeah.
anyways, yeah. So there's
But
that.
fun fact: when I still did Carl the Vampire Cupcake videos, I actually had a female character that I would voice named Candy.
Now I've never actually seen these, so I don't like.
Oh, I nuked a whole lot of them because
I know.
they
The only thing I've seen of you is that one weird video, which that art community thing, and that even wasn't even their main topic. I didn't even know what the hell was going on there. That whole video was a shit show. I'll just say that. Like, yeah,
wait, which video?
the only one that the art critic, that wasn't even about you. It was basically like a bunch of people. I don't know. It's a big mess. I think I mentioned it
Okay,
previously in we talked about it in the first episode cut video, so you can watch that if you're curious. So
okay,
we're not gonna
yeah.
go too much
Um,
in depth with that.
okay, so if you're talking about the one made by Ponder Sprocket, I cannot recommend that video enough.
Yeah, I know. I've watched it. It's just like, I don't know. It's a mess.
Yeah, yeah, my whole thing was a mess because holy fuck. That
Yeah.
was like during the days where I thought that anything I'd say would be like, you know, exempt from criticism type of thing. I
But
was like a
yeah,
really cringy little shit at the time.
yeah, but the thing is, when we all start off, we kind of like trying to find our footing. So sometimes we'll do some of the stupid stuff, like watch me, for example. One of the first videos I upload on here was a first ever recording I ever did, which was playing through a Sonic 2, and you can just tell how awkward and stuff I was. I tried being funny, like you can see the elements of what made me now, but it's always
Yeah.
interesting looking back and kind of being like, wow, this is how we
Yeah,
started.
but it's also good to have someone like I know Ponder like doesn't really like the idea of being praised or anything, but I will have to say that it's actually a very good idea for someone like Ponder to, knock down your ego a few pegs so you don't think that you're like God's gift to the world or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to have a bit of criticism, but that can only go so far. Like, if it's actually like actual constructive criticism, then that's one thing. But then there's also
Yeah.
name calling and kind of calling you stupid and, making fun of you. And it's just like, okay, no one's gonna listen to you if you're kind of doing it like that. But anyways, I digress. Let's move on from that type of subject matter. But yeah, anyways, you were saying that you were voicing a female version character,
Yeah,
the cupcake stuff.
because I tried to give her like a high pitched British accent, like
Yeah, you
something
kind of.
like
Yeah, and you also did a voice with when you did Carl, you had your pitch as
yeah.
well changed. So
Well, because I was like heavily inspired by
yeah, like
a
you mentioned
YouTube
before,
channel by the name of Ill Will Press, who does like Foamy the Squirrel.
yeah, that's a old YouTube thing, or the old Newgrounds thing. But
Well, here's the thing: Ill Will Press still does make videos and does occasionally make foamy videos called "Neurotically Yours."
nice,
So I do occasionally like to listen to the little squirrel unleashes squirrely wrath on the stupid people.
yeah, of course. And then of course they had that other character, that female. But anyways, those videos were weird sometimes though. But getting off topic. So yeah, I mean this was the first time I tried doing voice acting in a sense, and then that's I think the official first time I did the pitch stuff was when it come to Attack of the Batteries Not Included bit. I think when that
Oh
happened in
yeah,
May, that's when I
Toy
started
Terror.
doing the pitch, and I'm just like, now I'm happy.
Yeah,
Now they sound different. Now it doesn't sound like me. Now I can break my immersion. Now it doesn't sound like me
very
doing
good.
all this stuff because I don't have voice actors. It's just me, myself, and I. But yeah. So anyway, so there is some significance when it comes to the actual April 2019 version of or part two to the That's No Easter Bunny event. And it's funny, you might be thinking why it's called that. It's because in one of the taglines for Bad Hair Day, they said, "That's no Easter Bunny." And I'm sure someone at the team
Yeah.
looked at that and was like, "That's good name. Let's do that. Easter, yay." I hate it too because like that update was more themed around Easter, and we never get those updates. We never get the animations. We don't get the content, like none of that ever again. And one of the things that I hate that some of the animation we never get to see again, and one of them was the fact that Clarissa had this weird animation where she's able to appear bunnies out of her hat, and the fact that Lucy turns into a rabbit at one point,
Yeah,
kind of
we
like
need
the
to
same.
bring those back.
I know, especially the bunny is like that's too adorable, just her hopping around. I love I love the video too when they're using their bunny form. It's like, oh, we just need to find a rabbit. I just need a rabbit.
We need to bring back like some of the old animations for like the old events, because for every like special book that we end up purchasing, like there are some quests that we get back, but we don't get all of them. It's just kind of sad.
Or it's changed. So that's why I kind of do.
Yeah,
That's why I started these recordings because I know the Goosebumps community loves to get archive stuff, and it's like there's always been this case of like lost media, right? And I'm sure this game will
yeah,
become lost media in the future once it decides to die out, right? Because of copyright stuff. So my videos will be a kind of an archive piece of like this was back in the day. It's like, oh, this is what happened back then. It's like that's why I kind of do what I do, which so I get a small part of the community history. So there's that. But yeah, so in this update, so not only did we get Amaz-o back, or sorry, Amaz-o back, but we also got the real Amaz-o in the form of the magical assistant, which is funny because when the game came, like when they did the test run for the That's No Easter Bunny back in 2018, a lot of people got upset because it's like, how come you guys get to play new updates and we can't? Because it's like, what the hell, right? Because this was in beta, so not a lot of people. It wasn't fully launched, so they're like, all right, you know what? When we fully launch it back in June, July, we'll re-release it properly for everybody to partake in, right? And then they added a bunch of
right.
other stuff to it, like new one of the scene monsters being that of the magical assistant, because for some reason they seem to like this idea of having like this happened, I think, for a first little bit, and then they changed it because they had this weird thing where they're like, we'll have a bunch of normal spawn monsters, and then we'll have one boss spawn monster that costs money, and then we have the premium buy this character and you can summon them for free kind of thing. Like you've noticed that,
Well,
right?
well, in like since we're talking about Bad Hair Day, it didn't really do. They didn't really do that with the Amaz-o and Amazing Jack spawn scenes.
No, they didn't
No.
because they basically cut that whole thing out afterwards. But
Yeah.
the magical assistant was the boss monster originally, and then they cut her out and became another character, which is interesting because they basically took that asset they made and just gave her a rabbit, and they're like, "Oh, done." And what's funny is the rabbit that they decided to design, like it's not a white rabbit. It looks more like a Oreo rabbit, and it kind of reminds me of I don't know if this happens to you, but kind of reminds me of Buncula.
But for a second, I thought you said Boncula.
No, like
But
the bunny
I
Dracula.
know who you mean, but it's
Yeah,
actually pronounced Bunicula.
Bundicula. That's it. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's
Yeah,
wrong with me. Yeah, but
Boncula.
Buncula. Oh, it's me, Buncula. Bonk.
I'm going to hit you in the head.
I'm
Bonk.
going to bonk you. A bonk. Yeah, no. It's just because the whole because of red eyes and everything like that. So it definitely like
Yeah,
you only get to
I
see the face of the rabbit once, and that's when they're doing the rabbit of the hat trick. And it's funny when you think of context and when you find out that the rabbit is a Mazo. And it makes sense because it's kind of taking elements from the book where the whole it was a mannequin that the rabbit was controlling this entire time. Whereas in the episode, it was the rabbit. It was just like I've been tricked. That magician was evil, and it's just like did he trick them to be like, ah, I tricked you. I was actually evil. And now I'm going to turn you into a rabbit.
well, in the original book, it's not. Amazo wasn't evil. He was just
No.
like really sick of his life.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, it just shows you, and then it just shows how magical he is. And I love how, in the context, like, this is one of the reasons why I love this game because of the world building. Because they could have went ahead and just kind of been like with the story, but they're like, no, 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 no. We need to tie this into our next update. So they're like, there's this evil guy named Guglani, and he basically transformed me into this form. It's like, so you're an all magical being, and you don't know how to de-transform yourself? Nice.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like the Moglani spell to turn Amazo into a rabbit was like top tier level spells that not even Amazo even knows about. So
It'd be
Amazo's
interesting,
like,
yeah, because
fuck, how do
he's
I
using
do
jungle
this
magic.
shit?
He's
Like I
using
can
jungle
imagine
magic.
him like pouring through like different spell books, like trying to figure out how the fuck to turn back into a human. Because let's be real, rabbits don't really live that long.
No, but the other thing too is that it kind of yeah, that whole storyline with like it'd be interesting to talk about my shrunken head because that would be an interesting idea because especially with the Dr. Maglani or whatever his name is, like it's a
Muglani.
Maglani, like it's a Maglani tribe, but he's also named Maglani. It's like stupid.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, that voodoo guy,
yeah.
the
The one that looks like
Doctor
that's a
Facilier
facility.
ripoff. Anyways, with him, it'd be interesting to talk about him in his own type of set. But it kind of reminds me of like maybe the magic he kind of does is kind of like what happened with what do you call it, Star and the Forces of Evil, where it's like they did his magic. It was just like, oh, you destroyed my finger. Well, that's okay. I can grow it back. And then it's like, and he's like, wait a minute, what the hell? I can't grow it back. It's like, holy shit, the magic can kill me. But the main bad
But
guy
yeah,
there. Yeah, he was
I
effective.
actually enjoyed drawing the magic assistant.
Yeah, that was a fun character as well. I love it too because he's like, "Is this charlatan?" It makes it seem like he's an old timey guy. So it's like, this charlatan. It's like you are old
Well,
street urchin. Yes.
Well, in my iteration, like every time I draw a Mazo, I just kind of made him like similar to like his book variant, where he's just like grumpy and pissed off with the world, and
And he wears
just
a little
one and
costume. He's like, "Oh, look at the bunny's wearing a little costume." He's like, "Stop." I
he
love it.
just like hates children, especially.
I need a mannequin. Oh, I got lots of mannequins. Not fuck this. I'm out. Fuck this
Oh yeah,
shit. I'm out. Mm-mm.
it's like yeah,
No
but like the
way.
difference was like he brought his mannequin to life with his own magic.
Oh
These
no, I'm
mannequins,
scared
the
of
fucking
mannequins.
bizarre
Wait a minute.
mannequins, these are just like haunted or some shit, and he was just like, oh no, that's too creepy for me.
Oh no,
And then like
mannequins! Wait a minute.
yeah, there's another thing I did where like Amaz-o was being attacked by because this is actually something really funny in the game. Like when you spawn like the Mayfield Bazaar mannequins on Amaz-o or the magic assistant, the because as far as I know, when it comes to the parallels between Amazo's mannequin from the book and the magic assistant, it's believed that Amazo kind of transfers his thoughts, hearing, sight, and everything into this mannequin, so it's kind of like an extra body of sorts.
Yeah.
So I find it incredibly funny that like the Amazo would run away from a mannequin while using a mannequin. You know.
I can just imagine the mannequin's holding a rabbit while he's talking, and he's actually because he's not facing the character, he's actually talking, so it's like being muffled. It's like, oh,
Well,
no,
yeah, that's actually one of the things that I typically do with my iteration of Amazo is I just have the rabbit talk and just have the magic assistant just be like this silent helper of his.
it's almost like that Futurama villain with the cat. Like he has this human puppet robot. It's almost like that,
Oh yeah,
but with
I
the
don't think I've seen that
mannequin.
one actually.
It's in like an older, it's like an earlier, no, a future episode of sorts, like one of the newer seasons after season 4, I think. It was like a bunch of cat villains. But uh anyways, there's that. But I'm trying to think what else. But one of the interesting things too is that her, or I'm sure I say her, but it's the mannequin. Him and the mutants shared something similar when the game first came out, when this update first came out. And that is when they get scared, they get frozen stiff and they don't move. but with the mannequin, it makes sense because it's a mannequin. But with Mutant, it makes no sense. I
If
love
I
it because
stand still, they won't attack me.
he's just standing there menacingly.
Menacingly.
I love that too. Like I can't believe I didn't get to make that joke when it first came out because that's exactly what's going on. He's just standing there. And then when you start to do animation, he just kind of does a stick. He's like, moves like a statue, and he's like, and same thing with her. But then later they fixed it, kinda, because then they had the same issue as with Crosby in the sense that they get frozen when like they do the running animation, but they get frozen stuck. So they're doing this weird moonwalking type of like floating in midair type of running. So they get stuck like that.
Yeah,
And it wasn't until like a few years, like it
it's
was
kind of like that. It's kind of like that old trope in like Scooby Doo shows where like the
yeah, that's
characters just like
exactly like
run up and start running before they finally start,
yeah,
getting the fuck out of the area.
exactly. But they ended up fixing it later on, so no, they're not broken anymore. But yeah, but before that was funny. Every time I saw it, it's like, oh great, she's just stuck there, you know. But yeah, so the story that time around was interesting because they took more inspiration to the actual book it was based off of, while also doing a bit of Easter stuff. I remember
Yeah.
what you call it, Marty was just like, I want to enter this contest. It's like, oh Marty, it's for children. It's like, so I want the basket, and I love it too because at one point it's just like, yeah, I'm getting these eggs. Like, how many baskets did you get for so? Or like, how many baskets did you fill up so far? It's like baskets. Like I only got the one. Wait, how much did you do? 3. Oh, God, gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Because, gotta be kid friendly.
Oh no, not anymore. It's now they got the goddamn cars.
Oh,
Fix the
yeah, now they're
goddamn
pulling
car.
out the goddams. They're getting pretty edgy over here.
Yeah, no, they all start in 2020, and all of a sudden they got these dams all over the place. I gotta fix this
You get a
dam.
dam, you get a dam, you get a dam.
I'm dirty dam.
Dirty
Who,
dam.
who's calling Pinhead? Anyway, no, it doesn't matter. You're just quoting a bunch of stuff now. It's just one of the randomness. But it's interesting too because of this whole yeah, this is like the first official update we actually got as far as like stuff goes. And it's interesting too because they introduced like some items that were beta. Like for example, the dollar store for some reason. That never got released officially, and I ended up having a copy of that. And then at some point they decided to delete it. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then all of a sudden, sometime around last year, no, it was Halloween this year. They came back out of nowhere. So I'm like, oh, okay. I just have
What's
these
the
now.
dollar store?
Huh? Yeah, the dollar store, all the beta stuff that I had previously. It's like they just popped back in, and I'm like, wait a minute, oh my God,
Oh,
it's back? Okay, well, cool. I got these now.
oh, sick.
I know. It's so weird. But yeah, there's like only a few certain items that are kind of exclusive now. Like it's like one
Yeah.
of those. It's like when you see games like say like Clash of Clans when they have like certain decorations like the 2012 tree. It's like if you have that, it's like oh you know you're the OG like back in the day. It's like one of those
Oh yeah.
things. But yeah,
It's kind of like okay. Have you ever heard of a game called Wizard 101?
yes,
Okay, so one of like many people who play this game would understand that like we had something similar to that, which was the Selena Gomez statue and the Selena Gomez painting, because there was
yes.
a time when she had like a major appearance in the game, and
There was a
everyone like
crossover
did the
because of the
quest to
Wizarding
collect
World
that
of
shit.
Waverly Place, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, I used to have that, but unfortunately, because I didn't have access to my old account, I couldn't get any of my old shit again.
yeah.
So that's kind of lost its cyberspace in a sense.
It's funny how there's controversy with that game too, in some cases.
I remember the biggest one was the infamous hacker that's like pretending to be like a
Yeah,
game
someone
dev.
hacked into the system and started spending like this company's shit, and just like start swearing and whatnot. Like, what the hell?
The next
It
world
got
is my
so
boss's asshole.
it's so bad. It got
You-
so bad. It got so bad that everybody, like even Moist Critical, was talking about it. It's like,
yeah,
oh boy.
that is so crazy. Like I didn't think
Normally,
that
yeah,
Wizard 101 would get like a moist critical coverage.
yeah, because
That's
normally when it
fucking
comes to
crazy.
controversy in small game communities, they kind of like stick in their own thing. But as soon as it becomes big that everybody knows about it, then that's bad. Like I know that when Club Penguin closed down, they kind of had these little servers, and they still kind of do, but they don't really publicize them anymore. And the whole reason for that is because at some point one of these servers got like exposed for being this like shady company and also hold a bunch of like Club Penguins if you know the CP stuff. And
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
and
yeah.
then the Disney was like, no, shut it down. No fun allowed. Meanwhile,
Damn.
you got Toontown that actually is like the OG. That's like speaking of Toontown, Jesus, they got like two servers right now, like Toontown Rewritten and then Toontown Corporate Clash. Those were like man, like those are done by free by fans and all that stuff, and they put lots of
That's the
effort. Like
same
it's
with like Club
official.
Penguin though too, because Disney dropped those IPs like quite a long time ago.
Yeah, like, and they don't care. Like, most of the time, they don't care, right? Like, as long as it's not affecting their bottom line, it's like, okay, free. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, it's like, there's no point doing, like,
Well,
closing them out because it's like bad publicity. Like, it's not like Nintendo. Like, Nintendo don't care, but, like,
no, I mean Nintendo kind of had went after Gary's mod for quite a while because of gun-toting Mario's and shit like that.
yeah, but, they can
And that's
only
a
go so
recent thing.
much. It's like a hedge, it's like a high Hydra. As soon as you cut one, a few
Well,
more pop out. Like, what
well,
happened
the
with the
problem.
whole recent, like, they were like, oh, we're getting rid of, like, Switch, ROM, or not hacks, but it's like a ROM or something like that, like
You mean like an emulator of
an
sorts?
emulator. Yeah, they took one of the emulators down because of a controversy with them breaking the Breath of the Wild sequel and Tears of the
Oh,
Kingdom, I think. And
yeah.
yeah, it's like as soon as one dies, two more, three more pop out. So it's like it's a losing battle for them. There's no point doing
Well,
it.
Well, here's the thing. Like Nintendo is very protective of its IPs, so it would do anything, including suing like uh, gaming studios that host certain games. Like, say, for example, there was like a controversy where like Power World did like a Pokemon update where you can have like the pals look like mod
That
the
was a
pals
mod.
to look
Yeah,
like
that was a
actual Pokemon.
mod. Yeah, so I think they ended up taking it down themselves because they didn't want any problems with Nintendo. Like it's already like, oh, you kind of
I think
copied
they
us.
initially, I think they initially did that as like a middle finger to Nintendo, mainly because like initially when Power World first came out, everyone said, "Oh, this is just a Pokemon clone. This is a Pokemon clone. This is Pokemon but with guns and all this other
Yeah,
shit."
if
And
you want to
Nintendo
know our
wanted to
opinion,
actually
watch
like,
the cut episode.
yeah,
But
and Nintendo actually wanted to fucking sue them, but they had no grounds to do that because um, despite the fact that Pal World and Pokemon do kind of have some form of similarities to an extent, there's no probable reason for Nintendo to sue Pal World or the developers of Pal World, But as soon as like the Pokemon update came out, that's probable grounds for Nintendo to take action and shit.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's that. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think what else. Is there anything else when it comes to this update? Like, I'm trying to see if we're missing anything as far as the. God, I'm trying to think now because I'm sure there was other stuff too. Like,
All I know is that every time I look at the Mad Hare house, I just think of like the March Hare.
oh
You know,
yeah, and that reminds me too. When I was watching my videos previously, I was so annoyed because it's like, these rabbits look like this one rabbit from this movie I can't pronounce properly, and I'm just like, it's Donnie Darko. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like that weird rabbit thing from Donnie Darko.
here you
Donnie
go again.
Darko. It's not even a horror movie. It's like a suspense thriller of some sorts, and
Yeah.
it's like a guy in a rabbit suit. But yeah, it's that kind of form. I don't even think it was a rabbit. I think it was a Luca. I think that's what they were referring to it as. But anyways, it kind of had that kind of similar evil creature look. But yeah, and the scenes were like the actual like crafting things were interesting because you got like one for magic stuff, and you got this weird rabbit out of the hat like that looks demonic, and then it's
Oh yeah.
like.
Well, ghostly kind of because
Yeah, I guess it's like it's instead of the rabbit kind of coming like normally out of the hat, it's like we're bringing it out from the grave. It's a
yeah,
portal of the
it's
dead.
like almost
Whoa.
something out of like Pet Cemetery almost.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And they got like Amaz-o's carrot. For some reason, he has a carrot. This turns you into a rabbit
Well,
because I don't
yeah,
know.
because in the book, the carrot actually turned a Ginny into a rabbit, so that's kind of
Yeah,
the tie-in with that.
yeah. Again, they like to tie their books and keep it original. Like sometimes I do like it when they do that when they're kind of like keeping a
Yeah,
nod to the books and whatnot, while also
it
keeping
makes
it to their own
it's
thing.
one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things where you can point at that thing and say, "Oh, I know that reference."
There's me. There I am.
Yeah, it's like that meme. It's like, "Oh, that I remember that."
Yeah, it's like I remember. You remember? I remember. The member berry.
Hey, remember that
Oh, I
time?
remember.
Yeah, I remember. Ooh,
Yeah,
remember this? Ooh,
yeah,
I
I
remember.
remember.
The fucking member berries.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, there was actually this one thing I made. It was really funny. It was like a joke about how many erotic fiction called the private parts members. So I drew like this little one panel comic of like a member berry trying to write erotic fiction by using a member, and he trails off to like remembering all this other shit, like remember Star Wars,
Yeah, I
remember
remember
when
Star
things weren't
Wars.
so difficult.
Yeah.
Oh god, I love that.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything else to talk about when it comes to this update particularly, because I think we've basically exhausted everything. I'm trying to think. Oh, there was one thing too. I remember when they were talking about near the tail end where it's just like, oh, Amazo, because you like Amazing Jack, because you failed my mission before, like you made me look bad. I'm gonna make you basically try to destroy my reputation. And at the end, he's just like, yeah, I love to praise, and it's just like, yes, now we get to do what the moneymaker. Merchandising, merchandise. Get your
Come get
merchandise.
your merchandising. We got
They-
all forms of merchandising. We got t-shirts. We got the lunchbox. We got the action figures.
The flame floor, and my favorite, me. May the spots be with you. I love this thing. It's like that type of
I
thing I
love
can imagine that with
Spaceballs.
Herm. It's just like, and of course me. It's a cute plushie of the bunny. It's just like, God, I love this.
I
Oh,
love
funny too. Somebody
Spaceballs. That was a
I
that is
told
such an underrated film. It's
it's
just
great. I
fucking
love I
perfection.
love Mel Brooks. He's great. What's it? Yeah, I can totally see like you made a drawing of like the whole the Tim Jacobus jaw rabbit version. Like imagine like people would actually buy. Like I'm not no joke. If someone turned that into a marketable plushie, someone would buy that. Like they'd be like, yes, I would want that just because.
What's the
Don't
matter
you?
with you? Don't turn me into a marketable plushie.
No,
It turns into a
yeah.
marketable plushie.
No, don't you see? It's just the same doll, except it's wearing. It's just it's the same doll, but it's wearing a new vest. I want. It's just a rabbit, but it's just wearing a vest. But it's wearing a new vest.
What? It's just the same old rabbit.
But it's got a sparkly vest.
I want it.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, but it's interesting. Like, I love your design's version versus, like, again, they want to try to be realistic in a sense too, but it's like, it's interesting to kind of have a bit of a, like, a weird, like, it's interesting when different people take an idea and kind of changing it and kind of like putting their own spin to things and kind of being like, oh, this is how I interpret this idea. And that's part of the reason I kind of like Goosebumps in the sense of this game, because you got to see different people's versions of how they view the things, and it's interesting in that vein. But
yeah, in earlier HorrorTown, you also get to see like the artist depiction as well. And a lot of those are just fucking awesome.
And it's weird too, because some of them they were like adapting from the books, some of them adapting from the actual cover art, but then they kind of changed that later on. Like I think
some were adapting from the TV show.
Yeah, like for example, originally the jack-o'-lanterns, which would be interesting to talk about at some point. They previously, when they first came out, they looked like the ones from the movie, but then they changed to being more like the cover art slash the
TV show.
The TV show. Yeah, the weird Muppet, the Meat Beaker looking Muppet thing. I laughed at that.
Oh my god!
Because apparently, with one of my Adams stuff, I made fun of one of the characters because she talked like she looked like she was talking like Beaker, so I was like me.
Okay, I would love to see like an edit of like the episode of Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns where like as soon as like the Shane and Shauna reveal their alien selves, the whole dialogue for them is just Beaker talk like me.
That would be funny to me too. It's just like, wait a minute. It's like the adults.
It's like, wait, these are the missing people.
No,
you did this?
Do you want candy? Me. Oh, okay. And it's funny too because they just understand. It's like, wait, you know these people? Yeah, of course.
Like, it's kind of like the honeydew Beaker relationship type of thing, where like the characters within the universe can understand the aliens, but the audience doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. Gotta remind me, there was a guy who does this YouTube. I think his name's Solid JJ or something like that. Where
yes, oh my fucking god, yes. Go on.
He did.
I love that. I love him.
It's like, oh, you don't want to live anymore. It's like, oh no, don't do that. It's like, yeah, our pain is misery, but it's like you can still see. I got no eyes. It's like, all right, Beaker, drink this. Oh my god, yeah, his bones are melted. Oh no, he's still alive. He still likes strong. God damn it.
I love Solid JJ. His videos are fucking top tier greatness.
Especially the Muppet ones. I love it too because one of them was just like with the Fozzie. It's just like, hey Kermit, it's like, hey Fozzie, can I talk to you? And yeah, sure, Kermit, what's up? I just want to talk about these jokes. I have some questions about them. I was like, oh, yeah, shoot. All right. So the first one is like, I hate my life and anything around me. That's not really a joke. That's kind of sad. It's satire. Okay. And then you got this one here.
It's relatable.
All right, you got me there. And then you got this one. Bring up 9/11. That's not a joke. That's a tragedy. I guess the joke would crash and burn.
I guess that joke would crash and burn. Waka waka.
You're a horrible person, like Fozzie.
Yeah, there was also one where like Fozzie just like apparently became ageist against Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, that was.
And they had to go into like the I forgot what that one podcast was. But they were talking.
Yeah, the Joe Rogan. Yeah, it was real bad. They were making fun of us.
Yeah, he walked up to my little nephew at one point and just fucking disrespected him and shit.
Yeah. What's your opinions on the Iraq War?
There's like also that
this guy's fucking funny. Something like that. Never mind. Kill this fucker. George Bush.
It's like, what about 9/11? Was that good or bad?
What's
the matter with the Iraqi War?
Hindsight is 2020. Never mind. Kill this fucker.
George Bush. I love it too because they also brought this joke where it's like, "Oh, Kermit, I have some bad news. I don't have to tell you that Gonzo's dead." What? Yeah, he did this to John, and it was
Well,
horrible and everything like that. It's just like,
he shot himself out of a cannon, Kermit. Well, did he leave a hole in the size and
no, that's the
proportion
thing. He
of
just
his
got
body?
splat,
Well,
and
that's what we initially hoped for, but he
yeah,
just splattered against the wall.
yeah, I love that too. And it's just like, why you look at me like that? Yeah, joke on me.
Waka waka.
And then they actually had an episode where that actually happened. And then he got that one guy,
Yeah,
the animator, who actually voiced this
yeah.
Gonzo. He actually sounds good as Gonzo.
Dubis Grubis, I think it
Rufus
was.
Grubus, that's it. Yeah, it's like, oh, no.
Yeah,
It's like,
he does like a pretty good Gonzo impression.
yeah, I love it. Well, I guess you could say chicken. Let's do this. Is you sure? No, no,
What are
no,
you,
no. I love
chicken?
this one. Yeah,
Huh?
Fonzie, I really want you to watch this one.
Yeah,
It's like,
Fonzie, I
Fonzie, I
really
think
want
he's
you
gonna
to
hurt
watch
himself.
this one.
Fonzie, don't you understand? I think he's gonna hurt himself. I don't think he's a professional. Actually, when you thought about it, he's putting himself really close to the wall. I mean, technically, Kermit, it actually happened this time. I should have played. And you had the stupid laugh track on the back too. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Solid JJ. Never change.
go watch him. He's funny. He just basically takes pictures and just start voice acting over them. It's just hilarious.
Oh, there are some where he actually has people make actual stills for different scenarios. Like there was this one where the Justice League get interviewed by the police, and it was
Yeah.
like designed as like a true crime video.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Batman like says, "Oh, you better not give this the evidence to one of those true crime people." Because they're gonna say how I scratch my nose means I'm guilty or some
Yeah.
shit, and then like it cuts to the guys like Batman's an asshole.
Yeah, or that video with Bizarro. Superman is like, Bizarro! It's just like, are you sure he's evil? I mean, he seems like he's mentally handicapped.
Bizarro likes to be beaten to submission.
See, he says the opposite of things. It's just like, don't worry.
It's like that's a real
Are
convenient
you gonna hurt
excuse.
people? Bizarro don't hate to hurt people. See, he's okay.
He's just misunderstood.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, definitely. Anyways, I think we talked on long enough. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
start with your part. So let's just get that dived in here.
Say, Graham, you know that conversation about give yourself goosebumps earlier in this video?
Yes.
That's our topic for today.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we are going to be talking about that. Before I do that, though, I'm going to have to go ahead and attack you a little bit. So, this is what happened behind the scene, folks. So, if you remember, we always do these little funny skits where we're kind of like, oh, here's our next segment, right? And this time we decided to do something from Billy and Mandy, which was that of Dracula kind of doing like, they're separating you to dummy, okay, you dummy, you okay, that type of thing.
Yeah, look,
That makes sense for this.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, so this would make, well, yeah, but I tried, whatever. It's the same content. I mean, the jokes usually, no one seems to partake in these anyway, so it's like, whatever.
But it's fun.
It's fun, yeah, it's fun. But anyways, originally you were like, you know what, that thing we set up for this episode? Nah, let's not do that. Let's save that for later. And I'm just like, well, that'd be nice, but we already told people this is what we're doing. It'd be stupid if we kind of go like, well, you know that thing we talked about? Well, we lied. Sorry, that's something entirely different. Joke's on you. But no, so he had to go
April Fools.
Yeah. The reason why was because he was like, oh, we want to save this. You wanted to do this for Halloween because it's more of a Halloween update. But to be fair, for this game, there's always updates based on holidays that's off of holidays. Like we had the Egg Monsters from Mars Easter update in May. We had the Bride of the Living Dummy in March, late March.
Yeah, but those are delayed. That's the difference.
Yeah, but could be early. Like we're ahead, like by 6 months or 5 months in this case. But still.
I mean, yeah, true. I can't argue with that.
But there you go. It's like they've always joked about this. Like I remember when what was it? I think it was like, I don't want to say Fear TV, but it was like AMC or something like that. They were kind of advertising like this trick or treat marathon where it's like Halloween, and they were doing like trick or treats, like the Sam character, and one of them was this scene where it's like Easter, and it's like Easter dinner, and it's just like this horrible Easter bunny. It's like, kill me, and everyone's like,
Okay,
screaming, and
when
then
I
it's just like,
was when I
there's
was a
only
little
half a
younger,
year till Halloween, folks.
when I was younger, that scene fucking scared the shit out of me. Like
I
I
don't
couldn't
blame you.
sleep.
That's horrifying. Like the costume and everything. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, as soon as like the rabbit turns, it's like kill me. I'm like Jesus.
And then the
I had
grandma and the
I
mom's just like, oh,
Oh,
this is great.
yeah, Grandma was like fucking chill. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a little bit of this if you guys ain't eating.
Who wants to kiss grandpa?
Like, Grandma was like the best character in that whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, he was ready.
Yeah, because like at the beginning bit, like the grandma was just like sick of all this shit, right?
Yeah,
She was kind of like Stan's grandpa from South Park, like, hey
yeah,
Billy,
yeah. I love it
kill
too.
me.
Yeah, I love it too because like that whole thing was basically advertising like there's like school day and all that stuff is like they're basically hyping
Yeah,
this up. They'd be like, oh, Halloween is coming back, folks, and we're having Trick or Trap. I love that Trick or Trap was this cult following film that no one like they tried to get this into movie theaters, but no one cared, so they had to be released to DVD, and then all of a sudden people were like, oh, this is the holiday movie, like the anthology of stuff. Not that it's a bad movie, it's actually really great, like for what it
oh
is.
yeah,
But yeah, and then that also spawned the whole Krampus series too. So this guy loves his like making horror movie comedies in a sense.
yeah,
But anyway, sorry. Long story short, this is a Halloween episode, but it's special because it's halfway through Halloween. Let's pretend it's spooky month
yeah,
with the little dance.
yay!
Just do the spooky dance. But yeah, so
It's
anyway,
a spooky month,
it's a spooky month. Yeah, I
a spooky
mean,
month.
oh, yeah, speaking of, I mean, Spooky Month did their video back in March, so, it's just like really delayed. The guy really delays a lot of his videos because it takes so long, but
Well, yeah,
anyway.
but they're top notch regardless,
They
so
are, they
I'm not
are.
complaining.
They have this plot. I love how this silly video turned into a series. It's like
I
this
know, right? Just this
war and
one
everything.
silly video about people getting all geared up for Halloween, and then it's just like
You seen the Mark?
was like the catalyst of like the best series in the world.
You ever see like I don't know if I must have included this in the video, but when we were talking about the lore, I kind of included the Markiplier. Oh, the lore.
The lore.
The lore! God, the lore!
Lore!
For those wondering where that clip came from, by the way, Markiplier was playing a game by what was his editor's name that he still has?
I have no idea.
But he has an editor who also is a YouTuber who also does like video editing, but also he does his own video games, and Markiplier does play them. And one of the games he made as of I think last year or so, it was this version of like Iron Lung, but it was this kind of like you have to like there's water leakage and you have to fix the thing while the monster is trying to attack you while you're sinking down. And
Yeah.
at one point near the end, it was funny because he can also speak Portuguese. So it's like, oh, let's do the Portuguese option. And then he got disappointed because it was the English language for the voice acting. He's like, oh, he wanted to hear him speaking Portuguese. So he's this kind of joke. He's like, oh, hello, el mi alamo. And then the cat's like, meow. I was like, meow. It's like, I don't understand what you're saying.
I know I've mentioned this before, but every time I shout the lore, it's always like a
Yeah,
meme within like the game
the
theory
the
community.
game theory stuff. I remember someone made a video with the game theory, which was like this cartoon is just like, I'm here to give you some, to tell you some stuff like some truths. For starters, that was a lie. Except for Ness being Sans, that's still in a fuck.
Oh, okay. Remember when we were talking about Solid JJ earlier?
Yeah.
They actually did a thing that parodied game theory.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, because the same interview thing where like Statler and Waldorf were talking to that one guy. It's not Joe Rogan, but it's somebody else.
Oh,
He
yeah,
had
yeah,
like
yeah.
big curly hair and shit and the sunglasses. So he wanted to.
Oh, I know who it is. It's Howard Stern.
Yeah, Howard Stern.
That's
So
it.
yeah, so he wanted to. Howard Stern wanted to call MatPat to talk about like the lore of
Yeah.
like a security breach and how he thinks that the Gregory child can't be the crying child because it seems kind of out of place and stuff.
Yeah.
MatPat is like trying to explain it, but it gets kind of interrupted by Howard Stern. Is like, if you stop interrupting me for 5 seconds, and then like things escalate from there. And it's just like, then he starts insulting Howard Stern. It's like, hang up the call, hang up the call. So then, like, MatPat calls back, trying to be like Markiplier, or pretending to have like a voice of Markiplier, but have like a Moist Critical picture. It's like, hello, my name is Markiplier.
Markiplier.
And
Yeah.
then,
Don't you love this podcast, folks? We talk about anything but the game.
and like at the ending, band is like, I'm food theory, motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyways, so besides the point, yeah, this is going to be an early Halloween thing. We will have another Halloween update. Most likely, I'll be taking part in that when we get closer to the month. But yeah, so this is another Halloween thing. So tell us exactly what was the hint leading to?
Trapped in Batwing Hall.
Interesting. So what made you want to pick this?
You can't fucking say shit about me because now I have a whole thing on my notepad organizing everything.
Good. You've learned. And not only
Yes.
that, but you have art assets that I actually got to see, so I know what you're talking about this time, especially the characters.
Yes.
And I'm curious on one of them because you showed off a spoiler alert. There's monsters versions of 2 certain characters, and I'm curious on what led into that. But anyways, I'll leave the floor on to you, and we'll kind of go from there.
All right. So, starting off with the supply or the event currency.
Mm-hmm.
So the event currency is referred to as bat DNA, and this is a test tube containing a red liquid.
Yes. And the other thing, too, folks, to say is that you might be thinking, what's with this whole stuff? There's another thing. This is not only just trapped in Batwing Hall, but there's also another tale that's being spun into this, but you'll explain more about that.
Yes. So the character... So despite the fact that the story is called Batwing Hall...
There's no bats.
No, there is. I mean, come on.
There is a bat.
How are you going to call it Trapped in Batwing Hall and have no fucking bats?
I mean, it was about monster kids or monsters hide and seek or something like that.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually going to explain this a little further as we go along because this is something that I've been toying around with for quite a while. But despite the fact that the event is called Trapped in Batwing Hall, the main character is actually based on a separate story entirely, which is a Tales to Give You Goosebumps story called Bats About Bats.
I love that story.
Me too. I love it so much. And the character that we're going to be introduced to is named Dorrie Marrow.
And you get to see a picture of her here, like fully colored. And what's funny about it too is that this is the version of Dorrie Marrow you're thinking of. And what's funny is that I had a concept earlier with what I thought Dorrie Marrow would look like, and she looks almost close to your version. So we had this, like, we had similar minds, like think alike in a sense. So it's funny that kind of came into perspective. But yeah. Anyways, so this is Dorrie Marrow as far as her human disguise form.
So her design, the reason why I made her look like that is mainly because there were elements from the book that I had to use, like the fact that she's blonde.
Yeah.
And because she's bats about bats, I said the thing.
He said it. He said the thing.
I had her wardrobe designed entirely themed around bats. So there were like little bat wing add-on things for her boots. There's like a there's like a bat patterned tights that she wears, and she also has a little bat hoodie
and a bat pat.
In the original sketch, yeah, there was also a bat's backpack or a bat's pack, if you will.
A bat pack.
Yeah. But she is obsessed with bats.
And there's a reason why.
She can't stop talking about it because she aspires to be a bat scientist, just like her parents. And we'll get into that later on.
Yeah, and I love the idea of like her parents actually being like not like anthropomorphic bats, but actually like like vampire bats, like like normal bats. Like I'm I guess the only bats kind of like doggo bats are like flying foxes, if you know them. I can imagine them kind of
Yeah,
looking
I
like
know fly foxes.
I can imagine them being like flying foxes, like actual big flying foxes, and they're kind of like having little jackets on and like little beakers with their little claw, like the claw little hands, and being like, yes, this is a scientist. Actually, there's somebody who joked about that with like bats being like I'll show a picture up here. I think it was The Onion, where it's like bat scientists prove certain raw about COVID or something like that, and it's just like you got these little bat like actual normal bats, but they put jackets on them and little glasses. Could just imagine them looking like that, like actual like
Just have that look. Just like have that as like Dorrie Morrow.
yeah, that's story. It's like realistic
Yeah,
bat.
that's Dorrie. Oh, look, there's Dorrie Morrow.
Look, there
Points
she
at the
is.
bat with the
There she is,
glasses.
folks. Go get her.
But anyway, yes, Dorrie Morrow will be the unlockable character for Trapped in Batwing Hall. Um, the special buildings will include Krupnik's Hall. That's what it's called in the event. But when you actually obtain the actual scene, it's going to be Batwing Hall.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help
So
me with those if that's I can find reference to that, but I'll try my best.
So Batwing Hall is a scare scene that spawns Dorrie Morrow, a few of the and the kid, few kid characters, as well as get this, Courtney King.
Really, Courtney King's a monster now. Interesting.
Yes, and I'll explain how as we continue.
Maybe it has something to do with that the bad DNA currency. Made me
Well,
think.
don't spoil everything.
Well, I
Hold
don't
on.
know anything. I'm just guessing.
Well, the next special building is Morrow Labs. This is a laboratory owned by Dorrie's parents, and this is where you craft.
Okay.
Next we have, huh?
No, go on.
Oh, next we have Dorrie's house. This is where Dorrie comes from.
What does Dory's house look like?
I haven't gone that far yet.
I guess by the time you see this video, you already see, like you're seeing the example of it. We'll talk behind the scenes, but yeah, okay, we'll just go on.
All
I'll
right,
make something up.
and the event-only building that drops the raw items is called Krupnik's Graveyard.
Okay.
So, speaking of raw items, let's talk about the raw items. So, now I say items plural because this is something that we haven't had in quite a while, and since we have the double event thing going on in the future update, I feel like it would be a perfect opportunity to bring up 2 raw items for this event specifically.
And it's funny you mention that because this is not like uncommon for their games. Because if you look at Snoopy or even Adams, they've done 2 or 3 raw items previously. So it's
Yeah.
interesting they kind of bring it. I don't think we ever had that happen as far as I'm trying to think if we ever. No, we did. We did. If we got 2 items previously before. Don't mind me. I'm being stupid.
Now, the first raw item is referred to as the bat specimen,
Mhm.
and the bat specimen is going to look similar to the bat from the cover art of Trapped in Batwing Hall.
That's cool.
The second raw item is called the skeleton hand.
Ooh,
Now,
sweet.
so this is going to be something similar to like early Adams Family thing, but it's going to be like a skeleton hand in a box.
What do you mean by early Adams Family thing?
Well, you know how like in the early TV iterations of the Adams Family, thing was just like a hand in a box.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you mean Thing in a box. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thing was literally a monster in a box, but you only see his hands. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So the suppliers that drop these things include the Bat House, which drops the bat specimen, and the Creeping Coffin, which drops the skeleton hand. And that's a
Interesting you're
reference
bringing.
to
Yeah, the Curse of the Creepy
yeah,
Coffin. That's
yeah,
interesting you're bringing that up. That kind of reminds me of like what happened with the Shock Street when they brought the Fright Camp can thing. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had RB Faraday for the event, so yeah. Of course, you gotta have the fright camp trash can.
Yeah, it'd be interesting with creepy. Like, I wonder if we'll ever do creepy coffin. But yeah, no. I mean, that would be interesting to kind of. So I'm assuming it's kind of looks like the cover art in a sense, where it's like the hand coming out of the coffin of court in question.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I also have a list of decorations.
Yeah.
So the first one is called the Cuddle Bat, and this is just basically, standard bat plushie of sorts. But it's going to look similar to the bat design used for either Dorrie's clothes or the one of the crafting items. But I'll get to the crafting one later.
Okay.
The second item is called the Blue Team Banner.
Okay.
It's a tall banner with a bat on it.
Yep.
Then there's the Red Team Banner, which is a tall banner with a monster face on it.
Okay.
The next one is called the Krupnik Monument, a stone bust of Professor Krupnik, the last owner of Batwing Hall. And this one is a scare item, which drops 80 scares.
Okay. Sounds
Next
good
is
so far.
Hand in the Box. Next is Hand in the Box. A skeleton hand seen coming out of a box similar to Thing from Adam's Family.
Yeah,
Not
thank you.
exactly similar. Like, this is going to look a little different from the supplier, but it's going to do the whole beckoning thing.
Is it a lively hand or is it a dead hand? And like these are crafting items or is it the
No, these are decorations.
oh, so these decorations. It would be cool if actually one of them is like animated. Like I could see the
I actually do have animated stuff here listed.
okay, okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. See, you're
Yeah,
more
you're
prepared
getting
than I
way
am.
too. All right, so the next one is Dr. Morrow's lab table. This is interactable with Dorrie via visiting parents, and she talks to her parents, who are werebats.
Okay.
Next one is called Monster Time. This is a creepy grandfather clock that has monsters designs on it, similar to like the grandfather clock from the Haunted Mansion. But the clock face bears resemblance to either the covers of Don't Scream or TikTok You're Dead.
Okay.
Next is the Mud Monster game, an arcade cabinet showing cover art of You Can't Scare Me. Courtney or Will can interact with this item via. Originally, I had it listed for Courtney, but I changed it to Will.
Oh, how come?
Mainly because thing that I had to do was like plan out different interactions with certain items for characters, and I
Yeah.
can't have like
So
too
do you
many
see this?
characters interacting with certain things.
Would this be an animation for Will to play around with the arcade thing?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to
Yeah.
be one of those premium bundles
You-
that have him included in it, and they'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
he's the character who will drop the big item, the pricey item, the one worth it, and they will probably have his animation stay after the event if you were good enough to buy it.
The next one is called the Creaking Coffin. This is an animated item that shakes violently at times and opens slightly to see a skeletal hand reach out to anyone before retreating back into the coffin.
It's one of Curly's family members. Don't worry about it.
Next is Rubber Bat, which says a rubber bat on a string attached to a pole.
Oh, that's spooky. Woo!
Creepy Bat Portrait, a framed portrait of a large bat, which was going to look like the cover design for Batwing Hall.
Okay.
Batwing Hall statue. This is the grand prize item. A stone
Okay, so
monument to Bat.
Yeah.
Huh?
So this is the last prize to the premium.
Well, there's
not the
two
premium.
other items listed here, but Batwing Hall statue is the grand item.
Yeah.
A stone monument to Batwing Hall. Looks like the bat from the cover of Trapped in Batwing Hall, but, stone.
Yeah.
Next is the Bat Tree, which is a dead tree full of bats.
I think that there is an item like that. I might be thinking, no, Family Guy has something like that. I'm not sure. I'm sure. I could have sworn that I think one of the other games, like Snoopy or even no, not Adams, probably Snoopy has something similar to that maybe in there. Though I could probably see them just take that and kind of put it into the game and be like, done. They maybe change it a little bit to make it look more creepier, but.
Last is Gilded Sarcophagus, a golden sarcophagus with hieroglyphic inscriptions with a mummy hand reaching out. So this is going to be something similar to like Return of the Mummies cover.
Okay.
So, now that we have the decorations out of the way, it's time for the items.
Okay. So this is the stuff that I did see and probably be posting. So this is artwork you've done.
Yes. So, of course, we have the established raw items, which is bat specimen and skeleton hand.
Mm-hmm.
The first, so this is going to split into two sets, like many other events before. So one set is going to involve the bat specimen, and the second set is going to involve the skeleton hand.
Okay.
So the first set, the bat specimen ones, the first item is going to be the blue team uniform. So the blue team uniform requires a bat specimen, silk cloth, and a sewing box.
Okay.
Next is the Werebat formula, and this is going to look like an Erlenmeyer flask with red liquid in it.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is going to contain bat specimen and chemical X.
Oh, Chemical X. Seems like you're
Yeah.
bringing back certain things. Oh, good. Compton's involved with this one?
No, Compton's thing was chemical W.
Oh, it's Chemical W. I'm sorry. Chemical X is
See, I
Powerpuff
did
Girls.
research for this before. I did research when I was
That's what I
working
was
on
thinking
this.
of with Chemical X is the Powerpuff Girls. That's why. Secret ingredient of Chemical X.
So the third item is called Beetleberry Crunch.
Ooh, nice. Sounds something
So
good
this
that the monsters do.
so this contains Werebat formula,
Hmm.
cockroach, and ice cream.
Okay.
And the ultimate item, as I call it, for the Bat Specimen series is called Bat Costume, which includes the blue team uniform,
Yeah.
the Werebat formula, and Beetleberry Crunch.
Okay.
So now we get to the skeletal hand set, which the first item is going to be the ancient flute. So the thing I should mention about the skeleton hand sets is that they do require the scene items. So, for example, with the ancient flute, you are going to need the scarab artifact in order to make the ancient flute.
So that's easy enough.
Yeah.
As long as you don't include one particular one, we should be all good.
You mean the gnome pipe?
Yep.
Just a mere mention of it.
That's why I brought it up, because I remember we were bringing that shit. I don't laugh as soon as they bring that into the game. I'll be like, I'm bringing the meme.
Yeah, just have like one specific picture of a gnome just doing like the
Like
fucking
I
gnome.
did, I was showing the picture off. I'm probably gonna cut that off and just kind of have them pop in.
So the next item is called the Witch's Broom.
Okay.
This requires the witch mask and skeletal hand.
Okay.
And because the Horrorland Carnival thing was just recently released as a special book, that's a lot more easier to obtain now.
Yeah, I can see that.
The next one is called Werewolf Hair, and this requires dog treats as well as skeleton hand.
Okay.
And the ultimate item for the skeleton hand set is called Collected Items, and this requires 2 of Werewolf Hair, Witch's Broom, and Ancient Flute.
Okay.
So there's like a reason why these are separate sets, because the Bat Specimen set is the Bats About Bats section, while the Skeleton Hand is the Trapped in Batwing Hall stuff.
Yes, unlike my mess of last update, where it's like only it became beneath the sink. Screw the basement one. Nothing about basement.
So, like, for example, the story of Trapped in Batwing Hall has 2 teams, which is red and blue. If you join the red team, you become a monster, but if you join the blue team, you become a bat. So that's why I have the blue team uniform with the bat specimen set.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm an idiot. I forgot reading that book. It's been so long.
I did extensive research on
Oh
both
yeah, obviously you did. I didn't.
So the thing about the werebat stuff is mainly because I based the concept of Dorrie's parents off of Dr. Langstrom from the Batman series, who is ultimately known as Man-Bat.
Oh yeah.
because he was also a bat scientist of sorts, and he wanted to, I guess, gain the same powers as like a bat, be like Batman, but more ultimate, like a ultimate form of Batman. But unfortunately, the plans went awry, and he actually turned into a man bat.
It'd be funny too because it reminds me of another weird animator who kind of did this thing with Doctor Octopus and Spider-Man, like a 3D artist. And he's like, now
Okay.
I am the Spider-Man. It's like, no, I'm already Spider-Man. No, it's like I already like, no, I say I already got the thing. It's like I'm Spider-Man. It's like, why don't you be Doctor Octopus? It's like, are you crying? I can imagine that
So
too. It's like I am Batman. It's like no, I'm already Batman. It's like no, it's like this. See, I got the costume and everything. Why didn't you be Man Man?
So the Beetleberry Crunch is actually a reference to one of the endings of Batwing Hall, where the protagonist, who is, I guess, still kind of like
You.
retains bat-like qualities, was like, "Oh, I invented a new ice cream called Beetleberry Crunch."
Mm.
So because Dorrie and her parents are werebats, it's not exactly specified as to what kind of bats they are. They could be
They're just
vampire, they could
bats.
be any other
Yeah, they can
bats.
be. Yeah.
So I decided to go for a insectivorous route, which
Okay,
is
so it's
what
not.
inspired
Yes.
Beetleberry Crunch.
Okay, so it's not the fruit ones like the flying raw foxes type of thing.
No, well, not exactly. Like I
Mm.
said, we don't know what kind of bats I'm gonna go
Do
for.
they look
Or
cute, or are they are they
well,
ugly
Dory
looking?
looks cute,
Yeah, I seen Dory. I mean, she kind of still has her human formish, right?
but I'm not exactly too sure about her parents. I still
She
need to
they
work
got
on that.
she was lucky.
So the within the skeleton hand set, the ancient fluid, the broom, and hair. These are all items during the scavenger hunt of trapped in Batwing Hall that
Yeah.
the reader has to collect in order to escape Batwing Hall before midnight.
Okay.
Um, all right. So the next thing I'm going to bring up is characters involved for the event.
We got our main subjects: the Dark, Mr. Mortman, Mar, Lucy,
Well,
Dustin,
hang on.
Marty.
I mean interacting dialogue
Oh,
wise.
my bad, my bad. I thought you were talking about the in-game stuff, like
Oh no 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 no.
have character do the generic. Grab this, go to the
Oh no no
house and
no.
do this.
That I have marked under quests, and we're going to get to that soon.
Okay, my bad.
So, all good. So, the NPC of this one is Professor Krupnik, who is the ghost of the former owner of Batwing Hall.
Okay.
Now, in the book, he does actually make an appearance to talk to the player.
Now, what did he look like? Will he look like kind of like Andrew Crawl looking in the sense of his ghost form, or is he kind of being like more human looking, or is he kind of like Mr. Marcus, kind of like ghostly pale blue skin, kind of going on there?
Kind of a mix between Marcus and Craw.
Okay, so he's kind of like almost slightly transparent, but he's solid. Okay.
And he's going to have like glowing red eyes.
Oh, spooky.
Yeah. So the characters dialogue wise who are going to be interacting within the event include, of course, Dorrie Morrow.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have Lucy, because of course.
Yeah, he's of course.
Dustin, of course.
Yeah.
Marty, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But there are two people who are going to be involved that aren't regular characters within this group, and one of them is Courtney King.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is Connor.
Connor. Oh.
He's from Be Afraid.
Why are you bringing him into this? That loser? Why? All
Well,
right.
he needs more screen time, I guess. I don't know.
We need to redeem him. Okay.
We need more Connor.
Poor Connor. He just got shitty animations, and he just came from the crappiest update. He didn't even come clean in his own story. It sucks. All right. Let's have him kind of like have Courtney. It's like so far it seems like you want to redeem some characters. So I like this. So let's see what happens with Connor over here.
So with quests, well, unfortunately, I need to plan out a little bit more for Connor, but I only have one so far for him.
Okay, well, I mean, it's better than nothing.
So quests. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Dorrie.
Yep.
Dorrie has let's see, 9 quests.
9?
9.
999. Okay.
9. Anyway,
The number
the first
9.
one is so the first one requires an apple tree, and this is called hanging around. So with this shows Dorrie and Marrow just hanging up. Like it.
Yeah,
Okay,
kids hanging upside down from like monkey
yeah,
bars.
and
Type
like
thing,
exactly. This is gonna be her basically doing like the fucking vampire arm cross thing while hanging upside down, just looking side to side.
yeah.
And this drops apple because it's an apple tree.
Oh, we're getting. Oh, bringing chameleons. Not chameleon. My God, John Chiller's apple trees back.
Well, here's the thing: you can actually buy the apple tree through the store too.
Oh yeah. I know that. It's funny though because I just remember when it came to his storyline where it's just like, oh, my house used to be near to an apple tree, and it was like, well, sorry, buddy, but I have a bunch of apple trees, so I guess you're gonna be screwed on that one.
So the next quest she has is called Bats About Bats, and this is her just basic. This has like a little bat flying over her, and she's just gushing over it.
Doing her little cute, like, kind of thing.
Yeah, and this drops Hanging Bats, which was an item exclusively to the Haunted Halloween.
Oh yeah, I think I see what. Yeah.
Next is Gushing Over Yvonne, which requires Yvonne. And this is a similar animation, but this has Yvonne turn into a bat, and then like Dorrie gushing over Yvonne before she turns back into her regular form. And this
Yeah.
drops Silk Cloth.
Okay. So I guess Yvonne will also be part of this update as far as like quests goes on the side.
Not exactly cool. Not exactly the main event quests.
No. I meant like in the side, like buying premium and be like, oh, she just goes to a building and that's it.
Well, no, she doesn't actually. There are 2 animations for Yvonne, but I'm gonna get to her later.
All right.
The next is called Meeting the Parents, which requires the Dr. Morrow's lab table.
Yeah.
This drops Chemical Z.
Okay.
And this animation has it has Dorrie talking to her parents in her werebat form.
Yeah, so her monster form.
Yeah. The next one is called Scrape and Lick. I had to add that.
You had to put that in there, huh?
Yes, I had to. And this drops Vampiric Food.
So what do you see her doing scrape and lick with? Like a candy or something?
No. She practices her scrape and lick on an apple.
Okay, yeah.
Next one is one of those inside building type quests, which is called Read About Bats, and this drops the classic novel.
Okay.
Next is called Fly Around, which is something similar to Nightwing's animation.
And you're just giving her a lot of stuff. Okay.
And this drops Night Vision Binoculars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Next is Having Some Beetleberry Crunch, and this is her just eating ice cream. This drops ice cream.
Okay.
And then the only event type of quest she has is called Rubber Bat Scare.
Which is with the rubber bat item you got going on there.
And this drops. I think I actually changed that one though, but I have to double check on that. But it would drop Bat Specimen.
Isn't that also a nod to the book as well? Didn't they prank her or something?
Well, they tried to, but she's like completely unfazed.
Yeah, but didn't she run away or something like that? What happened there? And then they
that's
felt bad?
because that was like when Dorrie was having a sleepover with like 2 of her classmates, and I guess one of the kids' brothers was like dressed as a vampire and like trying to frighten her, and she just runs off screaming.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, now I remember that.
Yeah. Next is Yvonne.
Okay.
Yvonne has 2 quests, which is the plus Dorrie type of quest, which is gushing over Yvonne.
Mm-hmm.
But she also has one called Bat Cuddles, which requires the Cuddle Bat plushie.
Yeah, the thing that we didn't get Susie to do. All right.
This drops the Bat costume.
Okay.
Next is Marty.
Okay.
Marty has 3 quests. One of them is called Red Team Represent, which requires the Red Team banner,
Yeah.
and this drops the skeleton hand.
Okay.
The next one is called Try to Scare Courtney. So this requires the hand in the box and Courtney King, and that drops the bat specimen.
Okay.
Then there's Rubber Bat Scare, which drops the bat specimen and requires the rubber bat.
Okay.
Dustin has one called Prepare to Go to Batwing Hall, which requires Dustin's house and drops skeleton hand.
Yeah. I mean, he comes with his own house, so it better be coming with.
Well, yeah,
He
obviously.
better have. Yeah, I mean, he better be able to have his house, or else
Next is Lucy. Lucy has 2 quests. So Lucy has Prepare to Go to Batwing Hall.
Yeah.
And that also drops bat specimen. And then she also has Fly as a Bat, drops Werebat formula.
Okay. Is that basically kind of like her scare run, but it's just her flying around, kind of like how with Count
No,
Nightwing?
it's actually something similar, yeah, but it doesn't scare people. It's
Yeah,
just
that's what I meant.
it's
It's
just
just
like,
her running around kind of thing. Kind of like what
but
happened
it's
with
more
Mr.
akin.
Mor. It's like what happened
But
with Compton and Fleshman at the moment, where they're just kind of walking around in their monster form.
well, it's more akin to Yvonne more so than Nightwing, because or Yvonne has a thing called Fly as a Bat too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but hers is a normal bat versus what
Well,
Lucy is
that's
kind of like
kind of
that.
the case with Lucy too, because that's story driven.
Yeah, so she just pops in and out.
Well, no, in this form, she just flies around as a bat.
Okay.
She doesn't transform until you actually
Now,
complete
is
the
she
quest.
proper bat size or is she human bat size?
Proper bat size.
Okay, so she's small. All right.
Yeah, she's like a tiny little thing, kind of like in Conquer's Bad Hair Day, Conquer's Bad Hair Day, where
Conqueror.
Conquer's like a little
Yeah,
bat.
yeah. So unlike Dorrie, who is probably human size.
Yeah, Dorrie's the only human-sized werebat thing.
Okay, that'd be
So
hard for the
Connor,
animators to make a small little thing. Oh, it's a little tiny pixel. All right.
well, it's most likely just going to be something similar to like Yvonne's bat form, but like
Yeah,
for Lucy.
yeah,
Next is Connor, and he only has the Prepare to Go to Batwing Hall thing, but instead of like bat specimen, it drops skeleton hand.
yeah.
Because Marty's team, the red team, drops the skeleton hand, while the blue team, which Dorrie represents, drops the bat specimen.
Yeah. Cares how the story's
Next,
gonna go.
yeah. So Courtney King has 3.
Yeah.
One of them is called Blue Team Represents, which requires blue team banner, and that drops the blue team uniform.
I love it how it's color coded too, because Marty's wearing a red striped shirt, and then
Yeah.
Courtney's in blue, so it's like, of course, gotta have that.
You know what's really weird?
Hmm.
That just fucking dawned on me.
You didn't realize that? I thought that was what you were doing.
No, that's see, the thing about me is sometimes I unintentionally make something so clever that
Yeah, you
everyone
should
else
have just
gets, but
accepted
not
it. You
me,
go like,
until it's pointed out.
that's exactly what I was doing. And then, yeah, you didn't have to admit to
So,
that, but all right, I love your honesty.
so the other one she has is also Fly as a Bat, but that drops Beetleberry Crunch.
So it's the same as Lucy?
Yeah, it's the same as Lucy's.
Okay.
Again, I have to double check on what I have for this one, but it also says Try to Scare Courtney, which requires hand in the box.
Yeah, so that's the one
And
we
plus
talked
Marty.
about previously with Marty, yeah.
Yeah, and drops bat specimen. Next, I have listed is Andrew Craw.
Okay, so we have this guy in here. I'm
This
still
one has.
Sorry, I was about to say, I'm just still disappointed that he has like a cool like human form, and yet we don't have that in game. Like, what the hell? He got only in dialogue form. He's like this 60. He's like 50s greaser look.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, Fozzie's here.
Anyway, his quest is called Investigate Krupnik Monument, which requires the Krupnik Monument, and that drops Witch's Room.
Mhm.
Next is Mr. Zarwood.
Why are we having him? Oh yeah. Okay.
Because Connor, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
He
Connor's
has
part of the game, so might as well bring the wizard into this. What does he got to do?
he has Reanimating the Dead, which requires the Creaking Coffin, and that drops Witch's Room.
I wonder what he's doing that for. Now I'm curious. Sometimes I love how so far the characters kind of interact with things, but they don't explain why. They just kind of do that.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that
kind of
they're
like
kind of interacting with the environments, but sometimes I wonder like why are they doing? Why?
that's kind of like the formula that they've been doing with their recent stuff.
Yeah, especially their other games. Just do random stuff just because it's like it's somewhat fit. Whatever. Who
All right, the
cares?
next one is Count Nightwing.
Okay. Some people are gonna be happy about that.
He has Time to Rock, which requires Monster Time, and that drops the Werebat formula. So this is going to be him like shredding next to the Monster Time clock.
So it's basically like his animation previously with him shredding, but it's his brought out the clock instead.
Yeah.
Alright, saves on time. They can do that.
Next is Will Blake, which is Win at Mud Monsters game, which requires
Yeah,
the Mud Monster game.
which we talked about previously, yeah. That would be
Yeah,
actually kind of
and
cool. It would be funny though because it's like it has to be properly sized for him, which means that it's bigger than the building, like the arcade building. It's like I hate how the sizes don't make sense in the game anymore. You got sizes that are like huge and other sizes that are small. It's just
well,
like
I'm actually going to have him like standing on a footstool playing this game.
okay,
But this one drops Werewolf Hair.
all right,
Next is Slappy.
of course we gotta have him because he has to be part of the mascot game now.
Yeah. This one he has is called Painting a Portrait, which requires the creepy bat portrait, and this drops Werewolf Hair.
Okay.
Next is Muglani.
Oh, so we just recently talked about him previously. Okay.
Yeah, I know. He has Playing the Mummy's Notes, which requires the Gilded Sarcophagus, and this drops the Ancient Flute.
Okay.
Next is Mr. Mortman, which is Researching Batwing Hall, which requires his library. That drops the Skeleton Hand.
All right.
Next is Miss Marg, which is Teaching Chiropterology, which is the study of bats, and that requires the middle school, and that drops Bat Specimen.
I'm sure if Dorrie's in the class, there's gonna be that annoying kid who's just like, all right, who can tell me this class? And then everyone's just like, she just raised her hand. Everyone does like anybody.
Yeah, she just like
All
raises
right,
her hand
Dorrie.
enthusiastically, like, ooh, pick me, ooh, over here.
She's like, teacher pet. It's like, ah, all right, Mrs. Morrow. What is it?
Oh, what the fuck was that?
What? What
You
just
didn't
happened?
hear that?
No, what happened?
Oh, it felt like a fucking screeching noise. What was that?
I don't know. I'll probably have to look at my recording and kind of put a context of what that might have been. If I don't know, then they'll just be like, spooky noise.
Oh, that fucking scared me.
You know what's funny? I had somebody, I was way long ago when I was streaming. I did a Hat in Time stream, and I had a friend of mine kind of watch with me and kind of commentate. He had like a big things of cans in his room, and he just knocked them over at one point. I'm like, what the hell?
But it just sounded like someone was like screeching, like, ah! I'm like, the fuck was that?
Weird. Maybe it was a ghost. This
Oh
thing's
god.
this podcast is haunted now. Oh no. That's the last thing we need. It might have been. It
That
could
was
have been me. Like I don't know. Maybe I might have made a noise by accident without knowing, or something in the background here might have done something odd.
probably, but that spooked the shit out of me. Holy shit.
All right.
Anyway,
Well,
the last two characters I have quests are Mrs. Dark and Sharon.
okay.
So Mrs. Dark has Watching a Vampire Movie,
Yeah.
which requires her house and drops Bat Specimen.
She probably watches it with Ellie.
And lastly, Sharon has Creeping About, which requires her house and drops Skeleton Hand.
When you're at the club and you see a fly girl do the creep.
Now, the one thing I will say when it comes to the dialogue is that this dialogue is very dialogue heavy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
All right, so it starts off with Curly. Welcome back, player. Do I have quite a... Yeah, welcome back, player. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I have quite a story to tell. It's about a house and its former owner, a man who hated children. A tale of Professor Krupnik, a former university professor and former owner of the dreaded Batwing Hall. This haunted abode has taken numerous lives of children foolish enough to enter the cursed grounds to prove their bravery. Nick, Debbie, Laura, Martin, Marcy, all lost to the vile curse of Krupnik's ghost. So tell me, player, who perchance will be the new victims of Batwing Hall? I'm dying to find out.
You get the
Well, the thing is, the names that he mentioned are actually characters within Trapped in Batwing Hall.
Yeah, I got that. I just meant that like after that text, you got the quest line pop up with the whole like music.
No, it doesn't actually cut off from there yet.
Oh, okay, my bad. It was too early about that.
Yeah.
You have to remember there's 6 dialogue trees with this, right? Because that's the maximum they can do.
I know, but like I said, this is extremely dialogue heavy.
Okay,
And by that I mean there's a lot more dialogue before the quest
just letting
begins.
you know, the devs would be like, can't
know.
do that, cut off.
I know. They can like condense it or something, but
Yeah.
so Marty starts off with Courtney, help! The skeleton hand is trapped against my wrist. And Dustin, help him, Courtney. And then Courtney scoffs, grow up, you two. This is the 8th time you tried to scare me this week.
Yeah.
And much like your last attempts, they all failed miserably. Marty, you're not afraid of a skeleton's hand? Courtney, not if you bought fake ones from Fred's pharmacy, but even then, the chances of skeletons randomly popping out are slim. Dustin, it's higher in HorrorTown.
It's
because that's true.
It's the Marty bringing up its HorrorTown again. It's like, you live in a town called HorrorTown. What do you think? And by the way, the whole like a person hate kids. It's just like that's a model in HorrorTown. It's like there's like a bunch of people who hate kids. It's like
Mr. Chameleon being top of that list.
Oh no, he despises them. Oh, you children, oh lucky.
You children.
They're sticky.
What are you?
Where they put that thing?
Anyway, Courtney. Regardless, I have more important things to do than get spooked by some plastic hand. So this is where the quest actually starts, and this requires 4 skeleton hands and Marty trying to scare Courtney.
Yeah. Normally, I think that what they'll do is they'll have Curly do the thing, cut it, do the quest, and then the second part would be that of what you did there with Courtney and them talking. Normally,
well, the quest or the ending quest part of this is Marty. I will scare you eventually, Courtney. Where have I heard that before? Oh, right, the last time you tried to scare me, which was what, yesterday? Marty scoffs, and that's when the new dialogue sets up.
Yeah, didn't like I thought he learned his lesson with getting like hit by Courtney and also Will going after him. You think he learned, but no.
You know, he wants to prove a point. Next is Lucy, like, hey, I think I see someone new in town, or hey, I think I see someone new in town. Dustin,
oh boy, who's not another? Oh boy, a new character of the week.
Dustin, it's not another monster, is it? Yeah. Lucy, doesn't seem like it. She looks shy. And then Dorrie has like the long ellipses thing, like ... Dustin, you think she's one of those goth kids? Lucy, probably. I mean, she dresses in black and has bad-themed clothes. Marty, shy, you say? Looks like I got myself some fresh meat.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy, you're not going to try and scare her, are you? Marty, you're darn skippy, I am. Lucy, darn skippy? Marty, shut up! Then that starts the quest, which is collect bat specimens. Marty tries to scare Dorrie.
Yeah.
Marty, look out, a bat! Dorrie, bat? Where? Because she's like overexcited about that shit. Marty, right there, over your head. Dorrie, is that a rubber bat? Marty, isn't it scary? Dorrie, oh, no, not at all. In fact, the design looks similar to the Vampirum spectrum, a species of false vampire bats. And that's where like the quest for that one ends.
I love the fact, like that's the thing too. A lot of people like get scared of bats, but I don't know why. They're like flying, like they're cuties. I don't know why.
Yeah, right.
They don't bother anybody. Like they don't go after anyone. Even the whole vampire bat, like they don't go after humans at all. They rarely
Well,
do.
it's an extremely rare chance that they would go after humans, but that's if like food supply is low for them.
Yeah. And
They
they're
mostly go
very
after
social
like barn
creatures.
animals.
The only thing to worry about them is the fact that they can grab onto people because they tend to hook onto so that's one of the things to worry about. And that and rabies, just because they're natural born
Well,
carriers of
yeah,
it. But yeah.
they're carriers, but weirdly enough, they're not affected by the disease at all.
No.
They actually have like a natural immunity to it.
Yeah. Although it sucks because up in Canada, I don't know if it's just a Canada thing, but I know that there's bat species that are affected by something called white nose disease.
I'd never heard of that.
It's basically a fungus because they use their nose to kind of sense things and whatnot. There's a fungus that ends up kind of causing some sort of infection to happen that causes them to. It's weird. I mean, you can take a look up at it, but yeah, it's something they're trying
Huh.
to fix because of plague. Yeah, it's sad.
All right, so this next part is a little bit longer.
Oh boy. All right, lay it on me.
Courtney, you try to scare the new girl who has bat-themed clothing with a rubber bat. Marty. ... Lucy, you sure you know your bats? Dorrie. Oh, I wanted to be a bat scientist, like my parents. Courtney. Oh, like a chiropterologist? That's cool. Dustin. A what? Dorrie. A chiropterologist. It's someone who studies bats. Dustin. There are people who do that? Dorrie. You'd be surprised what benefits bats could bring us. Like, did you know that bats have inspired several advancements? Like navigational aids for the blind, blood clot medications, low temperature surgery, and military radar?
Yeah, I heard about the blood
Courtney.
clock thing with the vampiric saliva with the.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a quite interesting facts about that. I mean, I think me and Dory would hang she's a cool kid.
Yeah, I love Dorrie. Like,
Yeah,
everything about her, it just makes me squee with pleasantness.
yeah.
Uh, Courtney, that's pretty cool. Marty, it would be cooler if you were scared by them. Dorrie, no, not at all. I love bats. Lucy, if you really want to scare Marty, I propose a challenge. Marty, a challenge? Lucy, yeah, a true test of bravery. There's an abandoned mansion near the edge of town called Batwing Hall. Dustin, I've heard that place was cursed by the ghost of the old Professor Krupnik. Marty, hey, I might be able to finally kickstart my YouTube channel, Marty's Mysteries. So this was actually a reference to a Canadian show called Martin Mysteries.
Yes, I'm familiar.
Yeah,
I'm
but
familiar with
does your
that show.
audience?
Same people who made Totally Spies, aka Fetish Fuel. Fetish the show. Today's
Yeah.
episode.
So this is supposed to be like a mix between like those lame ass ghost hunting shows, but with like the name
Archie,
drop similar to like Martin Mystery.
Archie's Weird Mystery.
Archie's Weird
Weird
Mysteries.
Mysteries. I made a joke about that at
Courtney.
one point, yeah.
Yeah. Courtney, you're most actually. Wait. Hang on. I think I made a type.
Oh, read it.
Oh.
Read the typo. That's funny. I mean, that's
No,
normal
I don't want
for That's normal.
Well, true. I don't really
I
want to
see
do
it's
that
only
because I time and effort to make this. So, Courtney, you're not actually stupid enough to enter Batwing Hall, are you, Marty? Why are you scared? Courtney, no, there's a difference between bravery and stupidity, which is actually something she said before.
Yes. And it's true, by the way. I remember I brought up the thing with Batman losing his fear from the Scarecrow, and he started acting stupid, like, maybe I should jump into the saw blade. It's like, wait, no, that's stupid.
Dorrie, are there bats there? It might be helpful for me to do field research. Marty, swarms of them. Dorrie, actually, a group of bats is called a colony. And that's when the actual quest starts, which requires 2 blue team uniforms, and Marty prepares his uniform.
You know, sorry, I just realized she would love to go to Horrorland just to visit that one attraction, Bat Bar.
The Bat Barn.
The
yes.
Bat Bar.
The Bat Barn.
The barn full of bats. Oh boy.
So after the quest, Marty, if you're not scared, Courtney, then join us at Batwing Hall. Courtney, I told you I'm not scared, and I don't need to prove to you. Marty cuts her off. What about your precious Blakey Wakey? How will he feel if he knew you were scared of a house?
The mud
Courtney.
monsters.
You know what? Fine. Game on. And then cuts to Curly like, ooh, looks like we have new victims already. Let's see where this nightmare goes.
I'm just probably Slappy is not part of this because he always has to butt in.
Yeah.
What
Next
happened
set
to
of
Drool?
dialogue.
I missed him. Maybe I'll bring
What
him in
happened
my update.
Who?
Drool.
Oh, Drool.
Yeah. Like, whatever happened to him. Anyway.
So, yeah, next set of dialogue. Dustin. Oh, man, this place gives me the creeps. Connor. Why did you drag me here for, Marty? Marty. Because I need people to join me in exploring Batwing Hall. Connor. But isn't that place cursed or something? Marty. Yeah, so? Connor. You don't see anything wrong with that? Marty. It's an old dingy house. We have lots of those in HorrorTown. Craw Mansion, Marcus Mansion. Marty. Or yeah, continuing with Marty. Don't tell me that Batwing Hall is where you draw the line. Connor. I never stepped foot in any of those places. Why start with the most cursed house in HorrorTown? Lucy. We're here. Dorrie. Sorry, we're late. Marty. What are you wearing? Lucy. We're wearing blue team uniforms. Marty. I said red. Why did you pick blue? Courtney. Well, how about we make this interesting? We can make 2 teams, red versus blue. Whichever team flees out the house first loses. Marty. All right. Ready? Ready, guys? Connor. You dragged me here against my will. Do I really have a choice? So the next quest is unlock promenade, collect 3 bat specimens, and 3 skeleton hands.
It's funny too, red versus blue. That's like the most common versus thing, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of reminded of like the defunct Rooster Teeth's red versus blue with Halo.
Yeah.
The weird
Marty.
thing too is this taking part. Sorry, is this taking part in Halloween?
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess that means they're not doing trick or treating. It's just like, well, I mean, it's haunted, man. Like even on Halloween, come on, I want to go trick or treating.
Yeah, that's like a common trope that every kid goes inside a haunted house on Halloween.
Yeah,
I
guess.
I'm still within that field of, availability.
Yeah, you know
So-
what? I actually think I have an idea for my Halloween thing now. All right, you go.
So after the quest, there's 2 dialogues here with Marty. So, what's happening, Marty Nation, and welcome to the first episode of Marty's Mysteries. We're gonna enter the supposedly haunted mansion of Batwing Hall. We're going up against the blue team.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
You're out.
So next,
And hit
next set of
that bell button.
make sure you hit that notification button so you get notified of all the latest Martin mystery videos or Marty's mysteries.
And he just has like one. There has one subscriber.
Yeah, one subscriber. It's Dustin.
Yeah.
So next set, Courtney. Hate to interrupt your YouTube video, but how are we doing this? Is this a simple overnight thing? Marty. Nope. A scavenger hunt. Courtney. A what? Marty. Scavenger hunt. I have the lists here. Courtney. ... A witch's broom. Connor. An ancient flute from Egypt. Dorrie. Werewolf fur? I hate to say this, Marty, but this is impossible. Marty. What are you talking about? Courtney. Where are we going to find werewolf fur in Batwing Hall or any of these items? Lucy. You know that not every haunted house is full of monsters, right, Marty? Marty. Oh, you'll soon see. Then you guys will feel silly.
I just figured, like, instead of YouTube, it should be GhoulTube.
Connor. Oh.
No, you
You're
go.
going to say something?
No, you go.
Connor, let's just get this over with. I'm supposed to be back by midnight. Dustin, same. Quest. Craft witch's broom and reach a scarometer milestone. And yes, it's milestone, not to fill the meter.
Oh, thank God.
Because I know how you feel about those.
My grievances already. Like when you're just starting out, that's no problem. But as soon as you get like more stuff, it's like it makes it worse for you. You think it's benefits to you, but no, the grievances makes it worse.
Marty. All right, gang, let's find the first item on the list. Dustin, witch's broom. Marty, I think I know where to find it. Connor, I'm sure you do. Marty, we can just check the broom closet. Duh. Connor, so you're just gonna grab any broom and say it belongs to a witch? Marty, got it. Okay, let's go.
You know,
So next.
yeah, it's like in order to find out if it's a witch's broom, you have to try to ride on it, and if it floats, it's like, okay, yeah, good enough.
So next set of dialogue. Whoa, that was weird. That's Marty. Dustin, what? Marty, it felt like the broom was moving in my hands. Connor, very funny, Marty. Now let's find this werewolf fur. Marty, right. So then it cuts to the blue team. Dorrie, I'm kind of disappointed. It's been 5 minutes and I haven't seen any bats. Lucy, they're probably outside. Dorrie, I would have heard them. But yeah, Courtney,
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, I'll butt in after the conversation.
All right, Courtney, we need to focus on getting the ancient flute. We just can't stand around talking about bats. Krupnik, ... Just watching from afar. Lucy, oh. Courtney, Lucy, what's wrong? Lucy, I don't feel so good. Courtney, are you sprouting fur? Dorrie, your ears, they're getting bigger. Courtney, oh, I'm starting to get nauseous too. Dorrie, Courtney? Krupnik, ... Quest. Courtney flies as a bat, Lucy flies as a bat, and craft werewolf fur.
Okay. I was just gonna say, imagine if they just look in the closet and there's no like brooms there. There is a vacuum cleaner. And they're like, all right, got it. It's like that's a vacuum cleaner. It's like, well, there was a witch who rode on one, so that's good enough for me.
It's like, it says witch's broom. Hey, I saw Hocus Pocus. This is good
This
enough
is
for
good
me.
enough. This is good enough for her. It's good enough for me.
Yeah, exactly. Connor. Huh. Who would have thought that Krupnik had a stuffed werewolf in his study? Marty. I know. That's lucky for us. That's 2 down, and now we just need Marty. Oh. Dustin. Marty, are you okay? Connor. Oh, I think I might be sick. Dustin. Guys, this isn't funny. Oh. Then they turn into like monster forms where, Marty and Dustin look like they're monster forms but have like the red team uniform. But Connor is a different matter because he actually is going to look like a dragonkin,
Okay.
which is fitting because it's a fantasy genre type monster.
They could just recite. Yeah. They could
Because
just
of Be
take.
Afraid.
They could just take Sparkle's head and put it on his body.
Nah,
There
nah.
we go. Perfect. Yeah,
He's gonna be like a more skinny, scrawnier version of like Super Lizard.
Okay. I just
Bat
figured that'd
Lucy.
be a funny edit. They'd just be kind of doing that. It's just like, oh, perfect. There you go. Just change the color hues, and there you go.
So next set of dialogue. Bat Lucy. My head hurts. Courtney. Where Bat Dorrie? You guys turned into bats. Bat Lucy. We did? But where Bat Dorrie? Eee, you're both so adorable. I just want to cuddle you both.
I can imagine
Courtney.
that.
We need. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I can imagine them actually squeaking like bats, but because she's a werebat, she can understand them, kind of thing. Whereas the other
Yeah,
people
I was
probably
kind of
won't.
like expecting. I kind of thought the same thing, honestly.
Yeah, like we the audience will understand because God forbid, it's like the drool situation. It's like, oh, the audience knows the drool can. It's like the Garfield thing. Don't anything else.
Yeah.
No.
Courtney, we need to get out of here now. Lucy, but how do we change back? Krupnik, find the last item or stay here forever. Lucy, what was that? Dorrie, might be Krupnik. We might need to find the broom and flute and fast. Then it cuts to Marty's team.
What?
Marty, hooray,
Sorry, I was
huh?
just, I'm sorry, I'm butting in here. I'm curious to see where this is leading into, especially with him wanting to go like find the last time. Like, why do you include? Why do you care about this whole thing? I thought you hate kids.
Mainly because there's a curse within the Batwing Hall where, like, if you stay past midnight, then you're trapped there forever.
Yeah, like I get again. This is for people who don't read the books.
Yeah, but basically, Krupnik just wants them to get the fuck out of here because he doesn't like interlopers.
Yeah, God damn it! Now I have to have you people around. God damn,
It's bad
why?
enough I'm stuck with these
Get out of
caskets.
here!
Now I have to deal
I'm
with
happy
you.
by myself.
So over to Marty's team. Marty, hey, we're changed into monsters. Dustin, again? Connor, this place is cursed. We need to get out of here. Marty, not yet. We need the flute. Dustin, from a mummy's tomb. Where in the Where in this madhouse could it be? Connor, let's try the graveyard. Quest. Craft bat costume, craft ancient flute, and spawn Batwing Hall.
Okay.
Then ending dialogue. We're Bat Dorrie. I'll be honest, I'm having more fun with you two as bats. Courtney, I'm sure we'll have fond memories later. Now let's find the flute. Lucy, where are we going to find a mummy's tomb in this place? Dorrie, oh, I see Marty's team out the window. Courtney, I bet they fled in terror. Dorrie, no, they're monsters and they're heading to the graveyard. Then Lucy and Courtney finally dawned on them that the tomb might be in the graveyard, so they're like, the graveyard! So then it cuts to a new set of dialogue.
Yeah,
Marty.
I just reminded now. I just realized that not only did you have Courtney be on the blue team and Marty be on the red team, but you have it on girls versus boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
And
opposite
then,
colors. That's good.
The classic tropes of them versus them sort of thing, X versus Y.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it's a typical R.O. Stein thing. Yes.
Marty,
This is what
come on, I know where it is. Connor, how on earth do you know that, Marty? Marty, I have a strong feeling about it. That's it. In other words, I didn't exactly have enough room to, bring this up, but he actually paid off some monsters to, be in the house to, give them shit.
What monsters?
Well, more specifically, Koru.
Why Oh God, Nina Lur. Nina Lur. Nina. That's all. I love that's all he talks. It's like, yeah. This is language.
Dustin, I think we're being chased by bats. Marty, what? Courtney, out of the way, Marty. Lucy, passing through. Dorrie, oh, excuse me. Because she's, polite.
Yeah.
Marty, no way, we can't lose. Pick up the pace. Connor, come on, monster speed, don't fail me now. Or don't fail me now. And then, Koru, Lila.
Oh, it's my turn to scare now. Lila. It's like, no, not now. I can imagine, too, like, Lucy and Courtney squeak, and it's just like, oh, excuse me. Because they don't know bats, right?
Yeah. Courtney, so close. Marty, move it. Lucy and Dorrie call out to Courtney, and then Dustin and Connor call out to Marty. Then the quest opens up with obtain 2 complete kits, spawn Batwing Hall, and craft Beetle Blueberry Crunch, or Beetle Berry Crunch. Sorry, damn.
Yeah.
After they finally get the last item, Connor, we're back to normal. Dustin, good. Let's get the heck out of here. Lucy, right behind you, Dustin. Marty, not before me, you're not. Courtney, that was actually kind of fun. We're Bat Dorrie. Oh, I couldn't agree more. That's the twist. She's still a monster.
Yeah.
Curly.
Well, we all know, but they don't.
Yeah, Curly. Well, that was a heart-stopping thrill, wasn't it? Too bad they made it out through midnight, though. But hey, there's always next time, right, player?
Yeah.
So the next set of dialogue is called Bats About Bats.
Yeah, so this is the once you complete the quest and unlock her.
Yeah, this is the character quest.
What is
Curly?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you go.
It seemed like you were going to ask a question.
I was, and I just finished myself. Oh God,
okay.
Esqueal has started talking on our car. We're gonna have to talk to him later because he apparently is founding a bunch of stuff.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out what it is later. Just go finish it off so that we don't,
All right. So it starts off with Curly, like always. Little Dorrie Marrow is simply batty when it comes to bats. She aspires to be just like her parents, who are bat scientists. However, some people don't seem to share the same enthusiasm as her. I wonder why. Marty. Crystal, look out, a bat! Crystal screams. Ew, gross, get it away! Marty. That was so funny. Crystal. You little freak, get away from me! Dorrie. I heard screaming. Are you alright? Marty. Big baby Crystal got spooked by a rubber bat. Crystal. I told you to scram! Dorrie. If it comforts you, bats don't actually fly into people's hair. That's a myth. Crystal, I don't care. Bats are icky and gross. Dorrie, on the contrary, they are such wonderful animals and can provide so much for us. Crystal,
Did
how
you
can
know?
you like those things? They're ugly. Dorrie, I disagree. I see the cute, beady-eyed faces of bats and my heart melts. They're just so adorable. Crystal, ugh, just what I need. More freakishly weird things.
I thought she learned her lesson from before. This is one of those. Oh, she forgets, or it didn't happen yet.
She's still getting used to it, you know. She only has Milo as her monster friend. In fact, she
And
only has
unfortunately,
Milo as her only friend.
she's stuck in Horrortown with her brother
Yeah.
because her father hates her for some reason. It's like, nah, in you go, child. Goodbye, goodbye.
Quest. Bats about bats. For Dorrie's animation. Place cuddle bat and obtain hanging bat.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal. There's simply no way she's this serious about bats. I just need to prove her wrong. That's all. And I think I know just how to do it. If I can prove to her that bats are freakishly disgusting, then I'm sure she'll come around to my way of thinking. So, new set of dialogue. Crystal. Now that I have my vampire costume and my rubber bat, I'm sure to scare the pants off of her. Hey, don't judge my look. If I want to do this right, I gotta look good doing it. So that's like a fourth wall break.
Yeah.
Crystal.
And then this Curly comes in. It's like, ah, that's mine. Oh,
Crystal. Oh, here she comes. Dorrie. ... Crystal. Bleh! I've become a vampire. Dorrie. Crystal. I was bitten by a vampire bat, and now Dorrie. That's a myth too. Crystal. Huh? So this quest obtain small packet vampire breath and have Dorrie do scrape and lick.
Vampire bats don't bite. They scrape and lick like this.
Dorrie, the idea that
No, they scrape and lick. Don't you listen?
Not gonna repeat myself for dummies who don't pay attention. Scrape and lick. Dorrie, the idea that the common vampire bat, Desmodus rotundus, turns people into vampires is a complete myth. And the idea that even a bite that they bite is fictitious. They don't actually bite people. They cut open the skin of animals and lap up the blood like so. Scrape and lick. Simple as that.
Yeah, of course.
Crystal. Wow, that's really boring. New set of dialogue. Dorrie. Not so scary now, are they? Crystal. They're still gross. Dorrie. How can you look at a Honduran white bat and say it's gross? It's so cute and fluffy. Crystal. Ugh, freak. Maybe I need to try and scare her with a real vampire. Dorrie. Real vampire? Crystal. You weren't supposed to hear that. I have very good hearing. I bet you do.
I can't see very well, but I can hear things. Joy, by the way.
I can still hear you.
Crickets outside.
Alright, quest. Spawn filming set. Dorrie, hanging around. Crystal. There she is. I need you to scare her. Yvonne. Fine, whatever. Dorrie. Bat Yvonne. Bleh! Dorrie. Oh my god! Crystal. Yes, it worked! So, next set of dialogue. Dorrie. You're the cutest bat I ever saw! Crystal. Huh? Yvonne. Huh? Dorrie. Oh, you're just so precious. What's a species like you doing all the way up here? Crystal. I don't understand this. Why aren't you scared out of your wits? Dorrie. Can't be scared of bats if I want to be a bat. Can't be scared of bats if I want to be a bat scientist like my parents. Crystal. Ew, there are people who actually study them? Dorrie. Of course, without bats, we wouldn't have some of the advancements in human technology. Crystal. Then I'll just have to tell your parents about this. This is just unnatural. Dorrie. That's a great idea. Maybe if you meet them, you'll find bats not to be so bad.
I'm just reminded of, I can see her being the... I don't know, I'm thinking of the Looney Tunes thing with the abominable snowman. It's like, oh, I'll call you George, and I'll love you and hug you. And every time she sees a bat, like it for Yvonne, it's like, and I'll love you and pet you and call you George.
I will hug you and squeeze you and call you George.
It's like a Vira, like with the pets. It's like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, oh no.
Oh, like that one episode where like Elmira actually comes across like blood count.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, quest. Dorrie gushes over Yvonne and Dorrie meeting the parents. Crystal, where are your parents at? Dorrie, right over there. Mom, Dad, I want you to meet someone. Dr. Morrow, why, hello there. Mrs. Morrow, a pleasure to meet you. Crystal, it's just like scared out of her wits, like, frozen in fear.
Yeah,
And
the
then,
picture of her scared face, but there's just dots.
yeah, just like, dot, dot, dot. Where bat, Dorrie? It's like I told you, I want to be a bat scientist, just like my parents. Curly, see, Dorrie's not so bad. Or not so bats once you get over her bat obsession. And who knows what adventures little Dorrie Morrow. Sorry, let me try that again. And who knows what adventures awaits little Dorrie Morrow. We'll just have to wait for another time.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, same bat time, same bat channel. That's
He's our
exactly what you
keeper.
should
He
name
needs
this
to
one.
end on a stupid pun.
That's exactly what you should name the episode. Just same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I love how I just end. I decided to do that as a running bit, and that says now a thing. It's just every time I end with a quest line dot, it's like that.
Now, because this was incredibly dialogue heavy, I think you might end up having to. I think I might have went over the time.
You did. It kind of cut the fat. I mean, it's not too bad, I guess. I mean, we're pretty much on the loop. I don't think there's anything else to talk about here, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to kind. Yeah, I love the story. It's weird, but yeah. It'd be interesting to see them adapt something similar to this and see what they cut out and what they kind of done. But my God, he
Yeah.
just keeps talking. I know you're probably not knowing about this, folks, but you know, we're on Discord talking about this, and then I keep on seeing him pop up and be like, oh, yeah, I got some stuff to talk about. It's like, you got stuff. All right, but we should probably
So,
end this. Hold on.
before you do you have any criticisms or any notes you want to bring up?
No, not really like anything problematic in a sense. It's more so, I guess they would be cutting the fat, as it were, in a
Yeah.
sense, because some of it is basically, as you say, dialogue heavy. And the limitation is that they have 6 dialogues only. So it's like you gotta have to fit within that context. So realistically,
Yeah.
if we have an 8-parter, that means 16 dialogue exchange we're looking at. So,
Yeah.
but you know, I mean, you could pretty much have the same story but shorten it up a bit, like kind of
If I can
change certain
try and
things.
find a way to do that, yeah.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, I've done the same thing before too. When they came to Shop Till You Drop Dead, I had the same. I show like if you've seen the behind the scenes, you see how long the thing was. I was like you, and they're like, too long. So I was like, all right, cut. cut. All right, here's the thing. It's somewhat similar, and they're like, nah, change it a little bit more. Now it's done. Now we're good.
I know that I did have to abide by the 6 dialogue rule when it came to one event in particular, my quote unquote Christmas idea.
Yeah. To be fair, though,
I'm going to skip that one.
Yeah, to be fair, it's Halloween, so it's like, you know, it's worth the length. So they can probably go like, you know, we're gonna get a lot of money from this because Halloween time is Goosebumps time. So it's like, yeah, we can probably do a little extra stuff there, maybe. Not so much dialogue, but so much the animation and stuff. I can see them kind of like, yeah, we can add some more. Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, those were my ideas for Batwing Hall.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh boy, now it comes to my turn. I have to work on that. I have to work on mine. Oh boy.
Well, the thing about me is that I actually have a extensive list of different concepts that I'm working on. So far, there are about 13 items.
Okay.
And I already went over Comic Shop, Batwing Hall, and...
Oh, don't spoil your things just yet. We want to keep it secret.
I'm just going over the things I've already, did for the podcast, which was Comic Shop and Batwing Hall.
Yeah. You have more, and as do I.
Of course.
As so do I, but yeah, I guess we'll end it so that way it's at least 2 hours in length in the sense, so not too bad. It's our common quota, so yeah, I
Yeah.
think we pretty much hit it. So let's go into our ending bit. All right, and I guess that will end this episode, folks, and quite an interesting one at that. It's be curious to see how this turns out. And before we go ahead and give you a spoiler of what the next one's going to be in the form of a meme, which I guess this time it will be me talking about this, we do have an idea of what we'll probably be talking about as far as an episode goes, because we won't have an event per se. So instead, I think I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to talk to my partner here. But yeah, you'll be interested to see what we're going to be talking about for the next one. But anyways, I guess we are going to be asking this. We would like you. That's right, you, the viewer.
Yes, you.
If you watch this all the way to the end, and if you're a fan of HorrorTown as much as we are, I guess you are because you've been listening to this for 2 hours, so that means you must be some sort of dedicated fan. We'd like to hear.
You have nothing better to do in your life.
Yeah, I mean, don't be mean about it. We like to hear from
Gotta
you.
have that.
So if you are someone within the community and you've done stuff like, say, you're an artist or you're a YouTuber or you've done something within the community that you think would be interesting, send us a pitch to like you can give me I'm on Discord, same username, you can find me, and sell me a pitch, and if we like it, you might be a guest on our show, and we can go from there and decide what we're
And if
doing.
we don't, then you'll never work in this town again. You hear?
Yes. And we've heard a lot of people, we've heard a lot of you, or one of you at least, they were saying that they want to see some guests coming onto the show. And we have a few guest ideas are coming through. And we're hoping that the next episode is going to have a guest on. So you get to see what we have in mind. So that will be interesting to kind of see what goes on here. But for now, I guess it's time to give you our little teaser, or my teaser anyway. So hope you can guess what this next episode's going to be.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
Fat Bart. Oh God, morbidly obese Bart. Yeah, I remember that too. The episode. That's funny. What is it like? It's funny how they make him look morbidly obese, but he's like 300 pounds, which is like not like nothing. I've seen people who are 300 pounds and don't look that fat. Him in the moo or something like that. Oh God, that reminds me of that one point where he's like trying to get to the power plant, and he's just like, "Hey, buddy, I need your car. I'm a big fat guy." He's like, "Please, just take it all."
Or that one scene where like Homer is like this big ass blob and he starts eating shit.
Oh yeah, I like beef. My daddy said they had to close the restaurant because he ate all of it. It's like, hey, my dad might be big, but he's not that fat. Oh, Cherry. Oh God, I remember that's the good stuff. Oh, that's the good stuff. All right, yeah. So,
oh yeah, the good shit.
oh God. All right, so give your guess down below what you think. Although it seems like none of you have been partaking, so I'm very disappointed in you. But yeah, have our fun with that. So
You make us sad.
until then, dear folks, this has been I guess the late Easter, early Halloween update. I've been Grim, and this has been my partner in crime.
Yeah.
So I'm being the butthead, huh? All right, and that's all.
See ya.
Oh, yeah. God.